Yeah.
Welcome. Come on in. And then the magic.
I mean, it's the whole feeling about just raw horsepower under your foot. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
All right, let's get into it. What's up, my people? Welcome to Burning Tires, a bus cast. I always start that off weird. What's up, my people? Welcome back. Burning Tires, a bus Why is the intro the hardest part of the thing? Oh, yeah, I'll probably leave it in there. Whew. What's up, my people? Welcome back. This is Burning Tires, a bus cast. I am your host, Greg Leone, and today's special guest, my brother, Elmer CERRITOS.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
What's up?
Yeah, got you to sit down, and we're gonna talk about all of it. You know, so the show, Burning Tires, is all about. It's all about the beginning of sport compact street racing. It's about the beginning of the rise of the imports. And what better person to sit down with Elmer, my brother Elmer, to talk about how it all kicked off. And he's seen some incredible things. He's been with Arias Pistons forever.
1998.
1998. He is a father. He is a brother. He is a
grandfather.
He is a grandfather. I was about to get that. He's a husband, and he's an incredible human. And I'm very, very blessed to sit down with you, brother. And I can't wait to tell the people what they want to hear about the beginning of it all. So let's kick it off. What's up, man?
Well, just chilling, man. I started back on I would say 1998 for sure. I remember back in the days when we used to go and catch up with you on our way to Palmdale,
Yeah,
LACR, man, back in the days. I mean,
I
it's
miss
all the. But one thing that I never stayed over there overnight like you guys did.
Oh man,
I wasn't part of that deal when
you weren't part of the riots.
I wasn't part of that at all. I went home before that started. I believe the one night.
You missed out, man, because that is the riots were. Oh, man.
That was crazy. So I went home and I got back the next day, and then everybody was talking about it, and I go like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
it sounded like it was crazy that night.
It was crazy. It was all the peeps were there. Motel 6, Palmdale.
Yeah.
Was that Pear Blossom? Is that Pear Blossom
Pear
Highway?
Blossom,
Pear
yes,
Blossom
sir, yes,
Highway.
sir.
And Battle of the Imports. Shout out to Frank Choi out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a crazy night.
Yeah, shout out to those guys, right?
Yeah.
Frank Choi.
So we were epicenter of that. Yeah, that night was wild.
That was wild, I understand. Some people got arrested too, right?
Some people got arrested. Most of us got kicked out of our rooms by the SWAT team, by the Palmdale SWAT team, and it was the reason it went on so long, and that most people don't know this, and most people don't know about the Palmdale riots. This is why we're telling these stories. Is it was an event that Battle of the Imports, and it was massive. And not only were we staying there and racing at the track, but we were also going off and street racing all in surrounding areas. I mean, it was the explosion. So yeah, what 98?
It was
right?
like 98, maybe 90. Yeah, no, it was 98 for sure. I believe. Yeah, it was like 98, so or maybe 99.
Probably 98. I think it was. So it was the explosion of sport compact street racing, and everybody was there. Anyone was there, and we mostly stayed at the Motel 6 because that was like the hot spot.
And there was not too much over there either back in those days.
Yeah.
Now they got a big city going on over there.
They got a big city.
I think I was there like, I don't know, last year.
Yeah.
And I drove around and I went to take pictures, the sign of the racetrack.
Right.
And city's really big now.
City's big now.
Yes, it's really big. There's Costco, Walmart. They have everything over there now.
They got it all. Didn't have anything.
It was nothing, yeah.
Remember they had a Outback Steakhouse.
Yes.
And that was a big deal.
Yep.
Because every time we raced, if we did well, I feel like any time we raced, we went to Outback. That was our little celebration. Like with Kurt and all the guys, we'd always go Outback.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, the reason the riots went on, they call them the Palmdale riots, but we were doing us. We were going nuts and doing us. And my buddy's mom made the shirts from Motel 6. So we grabbed some shirts before we went out there, some Motel 6 shirts. And so I was wearing a Motel 6 shirt, walking around, doing our normal thing. When the police would show up, I would walk up to the police and be like, hey, no problem. We got it under control. We talked to them. They're leaving. So sorry to waste your time. I know we called you, but sorry to waste your time. They came back 3 times. 3 times.
Crazy.
And I told them that the next 2 times, hey, no problem. On that they came back 3 times. So 2 times I told them no problem. On that 3rd time they came back.
But this was already late night.
Oh, it was late night. And we were doing burnout contests, wet t-shirt contest. In the pool area, we had like some prize fighting going on. Like Danny and David. Remember the twins?
Yeah, the
I
twin
think
brothers.
it was Danny was fighting somebody for money. It was like a prize fight it was like a cage fight. Yep. We had banners up on the balcony. I was there with a bunch of my Speedworks guys. I know some of the Wicked guys were there. Everybody was there.
Yeah, everybody was there.
We were running the cars. We're pulling the cars up to the speed bump. We're putting down water and we're doing burnout contest.
Yeah, and I now remember, I think the reason why I never hang out with everybody, because I used to have my kids, they were young at the time.
And you'd bring them,
I used to bring them with me every time that we go out there. So I think they were like maybe 6-7 year old at the time.
Yeah,
Junior
they were
and
little.
Jeffrey, they were just a little kids.
Yeah.
And now they're big dudes.
Now they're big dudes.
And then again they've been around too through that whole deal. It's so cool.
Right.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing them I've seen them grow up.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of my racing brothers, they all know, like you know my family ever since the beginning, for sure.
They are a big reason why we're sitting here today on Pepper.
Yes, right. We were part of when we started doing this.
So when Pepper's engine broke, that was one of the hardest days of my life, right?
Yeah,
because I did everything with this bus.
Yeah.
And then they stepped up and they did the People for Pepper deal, and they made
shirts.
They made T-shirts. They made
sold T-shirts.
Yeah, they sold T-shirts, and they gave the proceeds to being able to get the engine, the transplant, so I could do the build. And so this is a big reason why we're here today, and this is a big reason why this bus, Pepper the school bus, is going to take the story of the origin of Sport Compact, which they are a huge part of.
Yeah, exactly.
They grew up in it. And so, it's such cool. I'm so grateful for them, and I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for this. So 98, man.
98, and then from there up, I mean, it just been like so many changes on, I mean, like more of the stuff. And that, I guess, you've been doing some other stuff through the year. Like, I know you've been drifting, and I always been more closer to the drag racing people, like I go back to when Papadakis used to be like the one to go watch, and then you see the new generation is stepping back, and I mean, it's crazy the changes from 13s. I mean, like I said, 12s, 11, 10. Now we are like, I mean, like on a sport front wheel drive nowadays, if you're not running 8.0s, you don't want to show up.
Yeah, you can't even compete.
You can't even compete.
You're not going to make the brackets. Yeah, you're not going to make the top 16.
Changes through all of this. It been crazy, and like I say, I've been part of it. I mean, the whole time.
And you've seen it from a more than just like trackside, but you've seen it from an actual engine development side of things. And
testing parts, and I mean, I seen it. Like I said, I don't know if I could say I seen it all, but I seen a lot.
So what was your first, like, what's your first foray into the sport compact world? Was it like, what is your first? Right, was it Arias Pistons, or was it before that? Were you into it at all before that? Before that,
I mean, I was just on like little. I mean, back in the days, we used to have a Celica 72 Celica. I used to like cars, but I was never involved on anything back then. Because we're talking 25 years ago now, and I was nothing into Arias. So I met this dude, and he goes, my friend, and he goes, hey, I know you like cars, and I know you like to play with automotive stuff. Do you want to come and work at Arias?
Yeah.
And that was an opening, like, right away. And then I showed up. He set me up. I showed up, and I went and met with the manager at the time. And then he goes, we had the little interview, and he says, I like you. And you're going to learn all of this, and we're going to teach you. And that's where all started. And then, like, I mean, I think, and then something happened. The guy that used to do the sport compact at the time, a guy named Sean, you probably remember that guy.
I remember Sean.
So he left, and then I immediately took over.
Right.
I mean, everything.
Sean was after Tom, right? Or wait.
Yeah, Tom. No, Sean was first, and then Tom came.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Tom we worked with Tom together, I think at least 10 years.
Right.
And then he left. And I mean, and right after I came in, that was only months. And then, I mean, we had the event at IDRC, or the Battle of the Imports. I think the one that I went and did the first time with my sons, it was I think it was an IDRC event.
Right.
Yeah, back a long time ago, when it used to be huge.
Yeah, every event that was sport compact.
Yeah, I mean, we used to have all Paisley back in the day.
Craig Paisley, man.
Paisley, yeah.
Shout out to Craig Paisley. I used to, I'd go stay with him in the summer in New York.
Yeah, Hiroshi Shivara from Japan. Remember when he came with the
top fuel car?
No. With the 300ZX, the red one. That he came and he did a lot of drag car that did a lot of damage on drag racing, and came in, got a bunch of wallies, and went back home. He was only here for a little bit, but until today we're still cool with the guy, because I make pistons for him for his Mitsubishi.
Yeah,
he's I just fast forward everything right now, but so he went from drag racing. Now he got the fastest time attack car in Japan.
Wow,
it's a Mitsubishi Evo.
That's cool to hear that people from back then are still doing it. We're still doing things.
I mean, I just went from 1998, 99, let's say 2000 to 2022, 2023. Actually, he just run his best number now.
Wow.
20-some years later.
That's cool.
And I'm still dealing with the same guy.
Yeah.
It's the same him and the same me. You know, that's pretty cool.
You've been dealing with everyone in this industry, which is you've seen this industry grow.
Yeah.
from a unique perspective.
Yeah.
You know, because everything we runs pistons, unless you're a rotary guy.
Yeah.
I'm sad, you know, and my condolences if you are. No, I'm just
and,
kidding.
And then, and then through the many years, I mean, at Arias, I mean, I know at one time it was me and Tom
Right.
Young. Love
Yep.
you, brother.
Love you, Tom.
And yeah, it was me and Tom, and then, but I was doing all the shows, you know, like the local stuff, like Fontana. I mean, Bakersfield, but more of the old school days. It was Palmdale.
Yeah.
Palmdale, yep. And
Tell me about your Celica.
well, my Celica, it was just a normal Celica that I used to have, and then
What year was it?
it was a '74 hatchback.
Yeah.
GT hatchback.
Those are cool though.
That was cool. 20R.
Yeah.
Had a 20R engine, and I
Those
think
are
when a rainy day, I think I don't know. Not really if it was my fault, but in a light somewhere in LA, I went and crashed it against somebody.
No.
It was raining, bro, and I crashed it, and I sold it to one of my cousins for like $250, I think.
Oh.
But my mom said, "You're not driving anymore."
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it was
and
rear wheel
then-
drive. It was
Yeah,
rear wheel drive.
It was a little cool car, and then and then after that, I went and got myself a little Ford Capri, the old one. I think that one was also like a 70 something.
A Capri?
A Capri, yeah.
That's funny.
Ford Capri, like the 6-cylinder one.
Oh, the 6-cylinder one?
I think
Kurt had a
Evo Ibarra has one right
Has a
now that he's
Capri?
working on. Yeah,
Kurt had a Capri.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were just talking about it. He had it. That was his first car. Was a Capri.
Yeah, and I think I got bored after a while, and I sold it to the same my cousin. I sold it for I think like $400 at the time. Now, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, and then like I say, and it's funny how I've been in the industry for so long, and then everyone asks me, "Hey, do you own a race car? Do you own like something to go racing?"
No,
And
you got a Civic though.
yeah,
you got a little.
I got
you
my
got a
little
ED
toy,
Civic.
but
yeah.
just like I mean, I nothing is like,
I love that you have that car. By the way.
yeah, nothing in my car is like nothing is racing in it. Everything is stock, and the people that I work with, it's just like the hardcore that it can be out there.
Yeah,
but I
but
don't
it's
have one myself.
but it's cool that you drive it. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, hell yeah, man! I love it. I have two Civics.
oh really? Is the other one?
I have a 90 and a 91. The hatches.
Both
yeah.
hatches. Yeah.
Yeah, both hatches.
That's your heart right there. Hatches. Huh?
Yeah. And we got two Corollas, 80 and 81 Corollas, and we got the truck 86, 85.
Yeah.
And then we got a bunch of toys at the house, man. It's just
yeah.
like money we need to get them all going.
Right.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I like that. What is it? It's Elmer's. It's Jeffrey's into the steering wheels, right? He's into the steering wheels.
No, Jeffrey is on the filming industry.
No, but remember he?
Oh,
was
we have
remember,
a bunch of them at the house.
Because he used to
steering
go and
wheels?
hunt for steering wheels,
Oh,
right?
yeah, there's a bunch of them at the house.
He used to
man.
find these
Nardis,
these
all the
rare
good stuff,
old
the
school
real
steering
stuff. We
wheels.
have them.
He used to go around and find them in like pick-aparts and things like that.
Oh,
I remember
yeah,
he
and
found
buy them everywhere.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And then I think there's got to be at least 20 at the house, different brands,
Yeah,
old school, and like a really old school nice stuff.
right. I love it.
I think we have like two pull-outs. I don't know if you remember the one there was a GT made a pull-out one. I
GT
think we have
Grant,
two of those.
right?
GT
Yeah.
Grant,
Yeah,
that
old
you
school.
pull out. Old school, man. Old school, yeah.
I remember all that stuff.
Actually, in the truck right now, we have a pull-out. I think it's a Clarion.
Oh, Clarion?
Yeah, we have a pull-out Clarion on the truck.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you could walk in it like back in the days.
Yeah, take your thing out.
Yeah, take the whole stereo out and walk with it.
It was a thing.
It was a thing back in the day. Yeah.
And then it became you could take the faceplate with you.
Faceplate, yeah.
But yeah, you used to pull your whole stereo out
mm-hmm.
and take it with you so no one stole it.
Yep. Yeah. So a lot of the new school people, they never gonna get to enjoy what we did.
I mean, do people still steal stereos? Is that I don't know if that's even a thing anymore.
I don't think anymore. I don't think. There's no. I mean, how?
Yeah, everything's integrated into the cars and stuff like
now
that.
anything can be I mean,
I feel like the price point came down on consumer electronics too.
Yeah.
I feel like the price for like a really nice head unit used to be like a lot for like in the day, you know, it would be the equivalent of like a couple grand or now.
Yeah, and my favorite only being Alpine.
Alpine make
Yeah,
good,
I mean,
good head units.
I own Pioneers, Kenwoods, and even Clarions, and Alpine it's where that's where it's at.
I used to run only Alpine.
Yeah,
and then now on Pepper I got the I used to have an Alpine, and then I put in like the big touchscreen one. It's a Pioneer, and I like it. It's like a huge 10.1 inch TV kind of thing, and just technology though, you know.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm almost driving a Tesla. You know, they have those big screens in the front of it. I don't feel like I'm never driving a Tesla, but you know, whatever. So now let's rewind a little bit to Arias Piston. So now you're working in the industry, you're doing the shows, you're meeting all the people, and I think the first time I met you is when I came in. I feel like, I was coming in to talk to Tom at some point.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, or something. And I remember meeting you it was like in the machine room. You were doing something in the machine room, or you were walking through or something. And I remember meeting you.
Maybe. I don't know if that was the time when you came on the motorcycle. No, that's after, I think, when you used to have that Busa, right? Was it a Busa?
No, I had a couple. I had
Used to be the Camo. I think I remember there was
a Camo. Yeah, that thing was wild.
Yeah.
The nitrous CBR.
Yeah.
And then I had a Cowie.
Yeah, I remember.
750 with an 1100 motor on nitrous back then. That thing almost killed me every day.
Yeah. Thank God I never learned how to ride motorcycles, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to me, after a while, it's just enough to go by the water box and watch everybody, the burnouts, and be part of make the parts of how fast they going today, and what makes me proud is what I'm making is handling. I mean, not me, but I mean the whole group of us,
right?
Because it takes a whole group to do what we do, right? Like that.
Takes a village.
And then it's for me, man. It's priceless.
Yeah.
To be back there and see my pistons that I make for the guy. I get the order. We make. Do the paperwork, engineer everything, take it to the machine shop, machine it, look at it before. Somewhere I might get to see the part before I shipped it, and then when it happens, and it happens a lot. Let's say I take your order, and you have like your dream part in your head, and then we talk, and we both get on the same language, and we both understand what we want,
right.
And I'm writing everything down, put it on paper. I put as many notes I want. And sometimes they say, why you put this many notes? Because, I mean, all of this is what I talk to my customer. I want this to be what we talk. So we make the parts. I check it, what I want. And then when my customer get it on whatever part of the planet, they go, man, this is exactly what I picture in my head.
Right.
And again, it's not only me; it's the group of us, engineering and everything that takes place to get these parts done. But yeah, most of the time, I mean, and I tell people every custom part that I make, talking pistons. I mean, every time they take an order, I want to give you the best. Right. And that's what I talk to the customer. What are you going to do? How much power? How much boost? Are you running nitrous? Are you going to run nitromethane? Oh, no. I don't want to talk about a nitromethane, but they want, it's
yeah.
They don't want to let people know what they're doing, but you have to let me know
that
you're going to do that in the future. You don't really have to tell me it, but you can just tell me.
I might do it in the future.
Run it in the future. Just give me a good part.
I might run it in the future.
Yeah.
Just in case. What do I need?
Exactly. So I go like, okay, that's what I want to hear. So instead to give you a piston with, I don't know, 260 ringland on the top, I give you a piston with the 290, 300 or
something
whatever.
That'll handle the nitro.
Like it wouldn't handle, what we're talking about.
Yeah. Jeff's running nitro.
Yeah.
He's doing he's been doing the 20% on a stock K24 stock.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a junkyard CRV motor. I think he's making 300 plus horsepower on that thing.
Yeah. So that's what I tell people.
Isn't that
'cause
crazy? Like,
I get people, bro, and they say, "Hey, Elmer, bro, you've been doing this for so many years, but why are you asking so many questions?" Well, and I go at the end, I go, "Well, now I understand why you wanted to know all of this, because this is what you. I want to every time,
Right.
like I said, you call me, we talk. I want to make 1,200, 1,500 horsepower. I go, okay,
right.
because I mean, this thing. I guess we're gonna turn it to talk about pistons instead of doing what we were trying to do. But here's what
It's part of it, though.
it's part of the deal. So
Yeah.
right. It's part of the deal. So now at areas we used to have good stuff, good forgings, and
Right.
now we have doubles. You know,
Mm.
like now I can go grab a CP piston to give you to make 2,000 horsepower,
Yeah.
and I grab the right forging, the right wrist pin, the right ring combination,
Right.
and I'll give you the best part.
Right.
And that's what I feel like I got my wings are really bigger
Right.
because I have different choices to make a piston for a guy or anybody that is gonna work.
Right.
Not just a piston with a right bore, with the right compression height, the right compression ratio, but the right forging.
Right. Because before it was limited.
Yeah, before it was limited. I mean, yeah, we could use this forging, it'll fit, but it's kind of. I mean, if you do this, you're kind of gonna max it out.
Yeah.
Right now with the. I mean, we have so many forgings in there.
So would you say that's the reason why some of these cars are able to run so much horsepower?
Oh
now?
yeah, the new.
Yeah.
I mean, now we have the. We have like a new combination of rings that we've been using, gas nitride, PVD top,
Yeah.
ductile Napier, and I use 3mm oil ring my stuff, and then.
So what's the high, like, let's just say a Honda K. So what's the highest horsepower Honda K running right now?
It's for running what they're running on the 5.60s.
But like horsepower wise.
Horsepower wise, it's about no one really gonna tell you that is for sure unless you there at the dyno or you see the data when they do it. But I mean,
Right.
I'm sure, like I will say, running 5 seconds, it's gotta be close to 2,000 horsepower.
Has to be.
2,000
Absolutely has to
horsepower
be. Yeah.
on billet blocks.
Billet block, yeah.
Yeah,
Solid billet block.
Speed factory on the BC are the same thing. I was told last time they run like 110 pounds of boost. 110 pounds of boost.
110 pounds of boost.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But they running, I mean, they are.
Do you remember when
they're on the 6s now too?
Do you remember when 30 pounds of boost was like insane?
Oh yeah, that was wow. Like right now, I get people on the phone and I go, hey, I need to place an order. I'm running. I'm gonna make some power. I go, okay, and well, they don't know that I deal with the people out there. They're probably making the most power on drag racing.
Yeah.
That it is, and you go, oh, I'm gonna be running like 25 pounds of booze, and I'm gonna be making like 600-700 horsepower.
So you're like, oh, streetcar.
Yeah, I go like, oh,
Daily
okay.
driver.
You're doing a baby setup. You go, why? I go, well, I do stuff like, I mean, 2,000 horsepower deal, you know, like 1,500 horsepower deal. And you go like, oh, really? I go, yeah.
Yeah.
But people out there don't know. I mean,
they don't know.
I understand. And then people go, hey, I got a stupid question. And I tell everyone, bro, there's no such a stupid question.
No.
There's no such a stupid question.
I feel like, okay, so my little girl, I always told her, I said, there's one stupid question. Are we there yet? Everything else you can ask, but I feel like if you can see if we're not there yet,
yeah,
just don't ask that one.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah.
So she doesn't. She every time somebody asks like, "Are we there yet?" She's just like, and we laugh. But yeah, you're right. There's no stupid question.
Yeah, there's no, and people go, man, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna throw this stupid question at you. I go, hey, check it out. There's no such a stupid question because that's what you're asking me, and I will tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, I will answer you whatever you want, and then
I think the only thing stupid is a question not asked.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Because, I mean, I'm just like another guy out there, and I go like, sometimes I'm out there, and people go, hey, picture. Oh, can I? I go like,
Yeah, man.
I'm not nobody special, you know. I'm just a guy that been around the industry for, and I know, and I talk to a lot of people. That's all it is.
But you are someone special.
Well,
you're special to me, and you're special to a lot of people.
Yeah, but I mean, I like me, bro. I don't like people to see me like that. I just wanna, you know, be. I think we all are the same, you know.
I feel the same way, but that's why you're so special, because not a lot of people think that way.
Yeah, and
A lot of people are like,
I mean,
it's all about me.
Yeah, bro, go to Maryland, woke up, and right on the airport the other day, hey, Elmer, I'm walking with my bags, Elmer, and I turn around and I go, hey, can I take a picture with you? And I go like, oh yeah, cool, man. And I go, I'm so and so. I see you on social media.
Yeah.
And I go like, and inside my head, I go, bro, I'm nobody. I'm just another guy like you, going to a races, going to talk to people, go do what I love. And
yeah, but you love this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I really do. I can tell you that I do love what I do. I enjoy to do what I do.
But you love the people.
Yes.
And that's what matters.
Yeah.
Is the people, right? Because the cars are all different. There's cars, there's bikes, there's boats, there's everything. But the people. The people who love the cars are special people, and they're all special people to me too. You know what I mean? Like we're a unique breed. We're a crazy breed.
Yeah, we are, man. We are. And then when I talk to another crazy person, I go, "Hey, if you're down, I am. Let's do it."
And I think that's the root of it all, is that we're all crazy people doing this thing. So essentially, we're family, because we're like this big crazy family.
That's what I always say. It's my extended family.
Yeah,
we all are. I mean, we whole family. At the end of the day, I mean, it's just another extended family away from home.
Yeah,
because I mean, everywhere, like like I said, I was getting my car rental this year. The same thing. I'm waiting in line to get my rental over in Washington. Yeah, and then this guy, he goes, "Hey, Elmer, can we take a picture?"
For IFO up there?
No. For World Cup finals.
World Cup
finals. Yeah, and he goes, "Let's get a picture, man. Good meeting you." And I go like, "Oh, cool." And I sometimes I feel like, "Oh shit, I'm a nobody," and this guy is just like making a big deal, making a big scene over here, taking a picture with me, because I feel, I mean, like I said, I don't feel like.
But you care.
Like
I mean,
but
you
I
care
care about everyone.
Yeah, you care about the people who are doing what they do.
Yeah,
because you know that it matters. You know that the pistons matter. You know, and that's why you take the time with the people to find out what they want, what they need, because that's the epicenter of all the explosions.
Yeah,
that's the epicenter of where the power comes from.
Yeah,
that's the very, very center. That's where the power comes from.
Yep.
And so it has to hold up. And, you know, I mean, that's the first step in whether it makes or breaks, whether the motor survives or it doesn't, it starts with the conversation where people ask those questions, and you ask those questions, and you take down those notes, and you're very specific on what you order. And I tell you what, I've run Arias pistons for forever. My first set of pistons was Arias pistons. Yeah. First set. And I've been running them ever since. And they've never let me down.
No, I know.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing, man, that I even before my times, I mean, I still get samples from back on, I mean, that goes back at least 40 years, bro. And customer goes, "Hey, can you just double check the borders right and everything else, and just send me a set of rings on whatever you recommend, a set of new wrist pins and some spiral or wire locks to keep going." And I go, "Yeah, the piston is good." And sometimes we even take the piston to check the heat treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see if they're good, and they are good.
Yeah.
Amazing. It is crazy.
I still have my pistons from from a lot of things. When I worked for Honda Tuning, I always ran the pistons in the articles that I did.
Just last week, there was this guy. I think it was an SR20 piston. The guy said, "Yeah, my piston, it's the ringland. They are a little tight." And then, bro, from the top it was red. Brenda, my coworker, asked me, "Hey, what do you think about this piston?" I said, "I saw it, junk." And she goes, "How do you know?" I go, "Look at how red it is. This thing suffers so much heat.
Right.
That the heat treat is not there anymore." And then, we got a good equipment over here. So
right.
So I go, ask our guy.
Yeah.
Take it to the machine and see how much heat. It was 26.
Oh wow.
Done.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 26.
And you check the Rockwell on it?
Yeah, we checked the Rockwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 26.
Wow.
Yeah, and I go, they're trash. And I told Brenda, I told you, this is junk.
Yeah, but she didn't believe you,
Yeah,
huh?
and the guy, well, the piston, it looks complete, but it's red. I mean, the heat treat is gone.
And it's probably just a tint of red. Just a very hard to see tint of red.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell right away.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like I say, I mean, it's crazy how much you learn.
Yeah.
Like me, I mean, yeah, I'm not smart at all, but being around so long, I guess I learned a little bit about the stuff. You know, I see something, I go, hey, I mean, like now I see a wrist pin, I know what size, from here to where you are, I know what size it is.
Yeah.
Or the rings, I see what they are.
Right.
And I mean, I could tell you what they are by looking at them.
Yeah.
And if you let me grab them in my hand, I will tell you even better.
You know the part number. You just
even
close your
better.
eyes and feel it.
Yeah,
and you'd be like, oh yeah, this is a.
You know, it's cool. I used to back in I don't know. I used to work at BC Moto. Because I dragged BC Moto back in the days to go use Arias. Because I met him in Palmdale back in those days, and after a while, I took him to Arias. Because he was
he was JE
guy for a long time, and then. After a while, he came over there, and then we sponsored him, and we had a good relationship. And then he used to ask me for rings, and I go, well, this is what we have, and measure everything. And I proved him that I knew what I was doing.
Right.
And then sometime he used to come, I need to order some ring. I need to talk to. He used to say that, and he could tell you. He said, I need to talk to the ring guru. And I go like, bro, I'll help you. I'll give you the right stuff. And I did, and then he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. A lot of people know that. I mean, like I said, 25 years doing it. And yeah, I kind of learned some stuff. Not everything yet, because, you learn every day.
I feel like we can never know everything.
Yeah, never.
I learn all the time.
Never. And here's another good thing, that when you see parts, man, you kind of know what went wrong.
Yeah. Or
something is made wrong.
Yeah.
You could tell.
I think that's one of my favorite parts.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's not my own engine.
Yeah.
it's not my favorite part when it's my own engine, but when it's like somebody's engine, and you need to figure out what went wrong. So I remember I had one failure, and it was because there was like a wrong. It was like JE. Remember the C clips? Used to be C clips. It was like a JE C clip. No. It was like a JE wrist pin got mixed up and put in a Arias piston. They were just a little longer.
Oh.
So it bowed out the spiral locks is what it did.
Mm-hmm.
And that was never on you guys. I think I pulled it out and I showed Tom, and he was like, "That's a JE wrist pin right there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. That's when you building something. You can't cut corners. You gotta. I mean, if you value what you're doing and your time and your money, I mean, I always recommend people to get for $100 more. You're gonna get something really, really, really good. It's gonna last you for a long time. You're not gonna have problems. It's just better for $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. Yeah.
Because look at the wrist pin, like a standard wrist pin. Like we have a really good wrist pins now. We have like a standard material 8620. Right. But we now have like a 220 wall. Right. I mean, that wrist pin right there, it's only like $2 more than the 160 wall that we sell.
Right. That's a huge
difference.
That
wheel is 220. I know it's heavier, but some people do need it. Right. And that standard wrist pin that is only that much money will handle really, 1,000 horsepower. For an extra $8 on a set. Right. Imagine that. And people don't want to spend the extra money. I get people who don't want to replace. I need rings, but I don't want to replace the oil ring. Just give me the top and sec. And I go, come on, man. For $24. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
You're already in there. You're gonna buy a head gasket. You're gonna buy, all this
oil. Everything.
Oil. You're gonna probably hopefully changing your bearings out or whatever.
Yeah. It's
going through everything, you know. But people
Yeah.
don't. That's the thing is like, I feel like people learn those lessons the hard way.
Yeah.
And I think that's a common thing, and I think you see it a lot. Is it's probably the best advice you can give somebody.
And that's
is,
the good thing that when I get one-on-one on the phone, I tell people the reason I'm telling you, I've been there, done that, and
Right.
I know what's gonna happen with your stuff.
Yeah.
I know. I already know.
Right.
And I'm telling you because I'm giving you a good advice
Right.
because it's gonna fail.
Just get the better one.
Exactly.
I always
Just
say get the better one.
get the better one for $100 more.
I feel like in the beginning of all of this, you didn't have the option to get the better one
No,
because
no,
there
no.
wasn't
At the beginning,
there wasn't even an option to get anything.
right? At the beginning, there wasn't even good rings.
Right.
Yeah, all of these new good rings, they only been around probably for the last 10, 12 years.
Well, let's talk about the beginning. Let's talk about the beginning of what people were doing with power in the cars in the sport compact world. And let's talk about the evolution of that. Let's go stage by stage for like horsepower and the times. Like, you know what I mean? Like who was running your stuff? Who were the cars, who were the people running your stuff in the beginning?
Well,
It's like 98. Who was running Arias Pistons?
at the pro level, I mean, it used to be Justin Humphreys,
Mm-hmm.
Brad Personette, Matt
Right.
Scranton.
Right.
That was the big show people, you know, back
Right.
then. The fast guys, you know, the really big guys, like on
But
the
sport-
sport front wheel drive. Or it was Eric Del Rosario,
Oh yes.
Ricky De La Cruz. I mean, who else was? The Bergenholz brothers.
Yeah.
But that's kind of on the newer, right? Because the Mazdas are like kind of, they don't go that back. I think Mazdas were like after 2010.
Yeah. No, they were
'Cause
Mazda
before they used to
in-
have the CRX.
right, but they were Mazda because I was building parts for them in up to 2003, I think.
Okay,
I was doing the drivetrain stuff
so the
on
Mazda
the
is
CRX.
that old. Okay, so the Mazda was
Mazda's
the
pretty
89
old.
board. Yeah. So
Yeah. But was the CRX on?
I think the CRX at the beginning had JEs, and then they moved with us.
Okay.
Yeah, the CRX.
Because I know Kurt built that motor that took him
Yeah,
in the nines.
Kurt. I mean, bro, KG. I mean, what was this other guy named? He lives in Palmdale.
Levon.
yeah,
Levon.
Levon.
Levon is awesome, man. That guy was
cool.
awesome. Yeah, that silver EK.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then Jojo Carlos, right?
Jojo, yeah.
Jojo, and then
But they were
Brian
running.
Bridges.
Levon was running Arias.
He was running areas. Brian
Jojo was
Bridges
running.
always did.
Brian
Jojo
Bridges,
did.
yep.
I mean, bro, back in those days, all of the JG engines used to run our stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I remember Javier used to come over and pick up like 20 sets
Yep.
back in the good days, you know, and
Yeah.
the wife used to come to the office at areas and pick up
Right.
20 sets, 15 sets. I mean, they used to come. I mean, that was the spot back in the days, JG.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That wasn't you weren't too far from JG, I guess. I remember coming to the shop,
well,
man.
JG used to be. That I remember it wasn't JG on Alhambra,
Yeah, San Gabriel Valley.
San Gabriel
Yeah,
Valley.
Alhambra.
Yeah. Oh, a P Crew, Mike, a P Crew.
Pit Crew. Yeah.
Pit Crew, yeah.
Charles was there.
Miss
Pit Crew
Dr.
too.
Charles, yeah, man. All of
Yeah.
the Tony Fuchs. I mean, all
Yep.
of those guys with yeah. It's a
Yeah.
Lukowski.
Yeah, Jeremy Likuski
Jeremy,
up there.
all of the old school people, man, Eric and BC, and man, I mean, I think, me and you know all of those guys.
Yeah, and a
Yeah.
lot of those guys were running Arias Pistons, right?
Yeah. I would say for a long time. I mean, and now, now we go to the. So a lot, and here's the other thing that a lot of these guys, you know, like BC stopped racing, Eric kind of on and off.
Yeah, he got into the what was he doing? He was doing like the Datsun stuff, right?
Yeah, he still do the restoration stuff, and
Yeah.
then But a lot of the people that we talking about here, Stefan. Oh, and then we got the Benon people. What's his name?
Yeah. James.
James. Yeah, James works for a Top Fuel team now. But
really?
what's his name? The girl in Jimmy, right? Jimmy O'Connor.
Jimmy, that's what I meant. Jimmy.
O'Connor.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, and
What's his sister's name?
yeah, and all of, Heather.
Heather.
Heather. Yeah. Yeah, man. There's so many names out there.
I used to make parts for them too.
And the guy with the NSXs, right? And then we used to have the Street Glow back in the day.
You mean Adam Sartori?
Yeah, and Sartori.
What happened to Adam?
I don't know, man. Somebody said that he saw Sartori not long ago somewhere.
Really?
I think he lives down here somewhere on the Carson, Torrance area.
That's wild.
I know, man.
Because he was like, wasn't he like Bakersfield or something? Didn't he have like a plantation or something in Bakersfield?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, so that's basically the beginning of, this is like the West Coast people, right? And then we got a lot of the East Coasters too that they've been doing it probably longer than
Paisley, Vinny 10.
Yeah, Vinny 10. Yeah, there's a picture of Vinny 10 over at Atco, right? With Lisa Kubo and some dudes. Yeah.
And the what else? Chris Rado,
yeah, man. And Sean Carlson.
Rest in peace,
brother. Yeah,
I feel like he was out here. Sean Carlson was a West Coast guy.
He was here. Yeah, he was here. Yeah, Chris Rado. I haven't seen Rado in a long time. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen Ron or Ed. I mean,
I see Ron.
Ron is in Texas, right? But I know Ed is over here somewhere.
I see Ron.
Oh, Vince Tiaga too. Remember
Yeah, Vince. So
Tiaga.
I keep missing Vince at the when we run the Formula Drift events.
Mm-hmm.
He's running his the is it the ALMS cars?
The Corvette.
Yeah, the Corvette.
They just ran last weekend.
They just ran Daytona, right?
Yeah, so he's still using our stuff, but through the big company to Penco.
Okay.
That's what the parts that they running on those Corvette and Formula One. They're made by our sister company.
Really?
In Austria, pistons and rods, titanium.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, titanium rods. I think they're like $1,200 a piece.
Yeah.
We have them here.
Yeah.
We have them on the shelf here for Hayabusas and people buy them. Wow. $1,200 a piece.
That's per rod.
Yeah, each
rod.
Yeah. Just the rod itself.
Damn.
And but back in the days, even if you had the money, there was nothing like that,
There wasn't anything. It was like, there was a point there wasn't even like rods. Mm-hmm. You had to use. You had to shop.
Howard, it used to be Howard rods. Remember when Howard used to make the aluminum?
Yeah. Howard rods.
Howard rods used to make aluminum.
I think Kurt and I were trying to remember who made the first aluminum rods.
I think it was Howard. It was Howard's.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Bobby, they both of them died already. Bobby and Donnie.
Yeah.
They both died.
That's too bad. I feel like from what I remember, like the first available rods for the Honda stuff was like Crower.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Crower.
I feel like that was the first available rods.
Mm-hmm. Crower.
The first rods I ever bought was a set of Crower rods.
Yep. And Howard rods, Howard cams.
Yeah.
And then
there was just regrinds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was like bullfrog cams back in the day. That's all we can get was like bullfrog cams or like. Right, Bill Good, right?
Oh yeah, rest in peace.
Peace, Bill Good. He used to live down the street from my uncle in Canyon Lake.
Yeah.
I used to pop in and see him sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get ready. We should have getting a list together, all the people that we're missing already, that we were cool with them, Bill Good, man. Like,
that's true.
Yeah, I remember him back in the days and with the chop top right over
with the chop top CRX.
Yeah, you're right. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I drove by his house. I didn't know he lived there, but I drove by and there was I feel like the CRX was in his garage. This was like a long time ago. And then I was like, what the heck?
Hey, and then you got also the Miles Batista, right?
Yeah, Miles still
out there.
His daughter still is doing stuff, right?
Yeah, they're still down there. Somewhere by Lake Elsinore, right?
Yeah,
Miles,
like Temecula.
Temecula area, Miles. Yeah, Miles is out there. I mean, like I say, I think, we're missing some people, but most of them are still around. You know, they just not drag racing.
So what's your biggest? What's some of the craziest moments that you remember from like sport compact drag racing in that world? Like, what do you remember from like the grudge matches and the rivalries?
I think that the biggest one that I think on the drag racing, I think the one that it was craziest to me was really close with those two guys. It was Eric and BC.
Yeah.
They used to have like a really beefy at the racetrack,
Yeah.
and then there were Rene Franco. We're forgetting about Rene Franco. Remember, Rene Franco used to have the Mazda.
Yeah.
But I think the garages was BC, and to me it was BC, and the other little teams. You know, they used to have garages at the races, and like I know Ricky used to have some kind of drag racing deal with De La Cruz, right? With different teams out there. But
I think Ricky did ahead for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No. I'm talking Ricky De La Cruz, not Ricky. That's the other Ricky that used to work for Arias. Ricky, I don't remember his
Wasn't
name.
that De La Cruz?
Ricky used to work with Gabe.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that Ricky. You're talking about that Ricky. I'm talking about Ricky De La Cruz. He used to be.
Wasn't that?
Ricky De La Cruz is that other Ricky. It's he used to have like a Hachi. It's just on sale. The other.
What was the car? Remember,
it was a CRX.
Was it CRX?
A yellow CRX with a big wheelie bar in the back with green stripes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Or Jason Parks.
Yeah, Jason
There's
Parks.
Jason Parks out there.
Still doing it.
Yeah,
Jason Parks
he
just
had a
crashed.
big crash.
Yeah, huge crash.
Over at the World Cup.
Do you remember? Oh man, Silvers.
Jared Silvers.
Jared Silvers.
Silvers. Yeah, it was a Tom Young buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I crewed for Jared Silvers,
Mm-hmm.
and what was the car? It was like, didn't he have like a porn company sponsor on it?
Mm-hmm.
It was like Wicked Pictures or something like that. Yeah. He, I think he flew me out to some race. He was supposed to pay me, and he never paid me.
Oh boy.
I crewed for him once or something like that.
Crazy.
And yeah, but we've talked since, and we're cool. But that was just like that stuff happened, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, all of those guys, I mean, none of these big drag racers are doing nothing anymore, you know. They're still around, but then no one is doing nothing down here.
Well, Sav Leone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're distant cousins, right? But he's doing stuff for sort of some of the ALMS stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He runs a separate team. I think he runs...
AMS?
ALMS? Chevy...
The Chevy, yeah, he's over there. I think he was, one time he was working together with Vince, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and now they think they both work in different teams somehow.
Right. Lisa's getting her car back together.
Lisa Kubo, Gary Kubo, man. It's so many. If you put a list together, it's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people, yeah.
There's a lot of people, man, and good time back in the day. And then I see Lisa all the time. I see Gary.
Were you there when John, was it laughing? Wait, because he drove. Oh my gosh. He drove one of the trucks or the drag cars, and he crashed at Pomona. I can't, my brain's not working right now.
John. I remember that the 2JZ truck was Jimmy O'Connor when they crashed it, right?
Yeah, and Jimmy crashed,
but that wasn't
too.
Him. Oh, yeah, he was driving it when they crashed
Jimmy
it.
was
But that other
driving
guy
it.
used to drive. What's his name?
Grant? Didn't Grant drive it?
Yes.
Grant's the builder, and he also drove it.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like the Venom truck, the 2JZ, 1,000 horsepower Venom truck.
Back then, man, that was crazy then.
Yeah, because he used to go against like Craig Paisley and like
Sartori.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah, and again
and then Abel
Streetglow,
Labara. And those were the fast cars.
Yeah,
those were the big boys.
Big boys back in the day.
Yeah. Who else had a rear drive? Steph had the rear drive too.
Steph and
the rear drive Civic.
Yep.
And,
I mean, there's
like H22 rear. Was it H22 rear drive? Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was the motor out of his front drive one.
Yep. And who else did we? Oh, and then back in the days, it was also Gary Gardella.
Yeah, Gary. I built parts for Gary.
Gardella.
Gary was good.
Gardella
Good
was
people.
good.
Yeah.
Olefantes. Olefantes used to be one of the one. He used to have another Toyota like the Solaras, but he has his own. He also died a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Olefantes. Yeah, cool guy.
Right.
Yeah, he's over in. I think he was over in either Maryland or Jersey.
Yeah.
And Humphreys is still out there. I talk to him once in a while.
Right.
Yeah, and then that's the old school people as far
Charles.
as yeah,
Charles Madrid.
that's the old school people, man.
Yeah.
And then
Dave Shee.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of names that we're forgetting here. I mean, we're getting old.
Yeah, but I think I want to talk about just the rise of it all. You know, like just what we started with was really nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Because basically there was nothing. It was just like most of the stuff was cylinder head. The people at the time were just learning how to get more air in there.
And so I feel like, and in tuning too, we didn't have options
there
for
was
tuning.
nothing.
There was
There was no traction control.
No, there was nothing.
There was there was nothing, man.
So-
That's what I wonder. If those guys like a Stefan with the setup that he used to have back in those days, running the numbers that he was running, what if he had the technology back then that we have nowadays? I mean,
Right.
He would have been like,
I feel like he was on the cutting edge of the technology.
yeah, he was.
And I think that's what you had to be able to be competitive. Not because he wasn't just competitive, he was just that step ahead of everyone else. And I feel like that's why he did so well, is because he thought outside of the box. And we think we all did in a certain sense of the way, right? And I think that it was all this weird trial and error phase. And, and I think as things improved, because what was when you came in, cars were what, 14s, 13s,
Yeah.
and then
12s.
12s.
9 was the number, like,
Right.
I mean, incredible. Yeah.
Wasn't the yellow car hit 9s, right? Was
Mhm.
that
The yellow car was, what's his name?
Stefan's yellow
Yeah.
Civic? That was a
Mhm.
9-second,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yep.
I can't remember who was first. Was Ed Bergenholtz first in the 9s, or which one was first in the 9s?
I know Eric Aguilar went fast too on the.
I think Eric was the 9s in all motor,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he the first?
I think he was. He is the. I think Eric is the first one. I kind of don't remember, but I think he is the fastest one. Just like Lisa is
Fastest woman?
the fastest
Yeah,
woman on
yeah.
7s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now we have a new girls running 7s, and
Yeah.
but everything is with the new technology. And I mean, no discredit anybody, but I mean it's with the new technology.
Right. But then the Honda's the sport compact drag racing died out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
Died
would
out.
be, I feel like that's in like the 2000 6, 2000.
Yeah, that's when they went kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Do you know why? What's your take on it? Why did it die out?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was because there was NHRA stopped the NHRA deal, right? And then everybody stepped out. I
Right.
mean, everything died out. I mean, there was no battle of the imports, and then
No.
the one who was trying was Mike,
Yeah, yeah.
IDRC. But I mean, he wasn't, for whatever the case, he wasn't getting no support. So I mean, people wasn't showing to the racetrack,
Right.
and I mean, I think that's why people say, "Oh, I'm not gonna go," and then started dying out.
Right.
And I think that's why it went down like that. Because I mean, there's no sanction and there's no payout. There's nothing. People obviously don't want to go racing.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like, I think on the East Coast they pay a lot better than for drag racing. I think that's why they race more, and they have more racetracks over there, less rules,
Yeah.
and
They were still street racing over there. I feel like they were still street racing
Yeah.
all the way through. I don't know if you ever heard about Kite Wars.
No.
You ever where they would just cut their cars to nothing
Oh.
and they would race them in the East Coast?
I mean, they street race every night, bro. I mean, in my neighborhood back there, I mean, they race every night.
It's
I
wild.
hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell people I'm cool with everybody, but the street racing is something that when they tell me they're gonna do street racing with the stuff, I just go like, oh, be careful.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I don't wanna give you what you want and be strong and make a lot of power and
something
go
happening.
crash and
Right.
something happen. Yeah, I don't want to be part of that type of stuff.
How do you feel about that? I mean, how do you feel about supplying parts to these cars that are out street
Well,
racing?
I just rather don't know. And
You'd rather not know?
I'd rather not know what's gonna happen, and a lot of
Right.
people's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they go out there, and there's a lot of people that I make parts for that they street racers, like crazy big nitrous motor stuff and
Wow.
boost stuff, and I go, wow, I never seen this car at the drags. I mean, racing, but they
Right.
drag race everywhere, and
Everywhere else, yeah.
yeah, look at this guy. What's his name? Driver B.
Yeah, I know, B.
Driver B,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, he street raced more than, I guess. He probably done more street racing in his life than anybody that is still alive.
Yeah,
he
'cause
street
he's-
races all the time.
He's old school.
Old school, he
Yeah.
races all the time, man.
He's good, yeah.
Anywhere he goes, his car is in his trailer. He's pulling his car.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to race? Okay, let's do it. That
Yeah.
guy is crazy.
Takes
He's
down
cool.
go down to Costco just in case, you know. You
Cool
got to bring your
guy,
race
man.
car. Yeah.
Yeah, cool guy.
Yeah, I've gone to some of his test and tunes, his street runs and street nights, you know, grudge matches and stuff like that. He's a good
Yeah.
guy. Shout out Driver B. Come and talk to you soon.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool, B. Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I mean that's my genesis was street racing. That's how I fell in love with all this was street racing. And then, you know, Stefan, street racing.
Hey, we forgetting about Roger Scalise.
Yeah.
That's another guy that used to be out there. I mean, little by little, my brain is it's.
Yeah, so Jeff
people-
I guess just ran into Roger not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
He was chilling with Jason Park, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna get
Yeah,
Roger
yeah,
to sit down. Roger's a good guy.
Yeah, Roger's a cool guy.
Yeah.
His kids, man. I know his family. I mean, I know him before he had his family. You know.
Oh yeah.
Hang out at the drags at Pomona together. Cool guy.
Yeah.
I see him all the time. Right? He went to my house to pick up some parts for Jason before he went to a World Cup this year.
Oh, before he crashed. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. 'Cause he was helping Jason a
Yep.
lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, all of these people, not all of them, but a majority of them all started street racing. I used to street race with like Lisa and Gary Kubo.
Yeah,
Stefan
yeah.
in his black hatch. I used to street race with him. You know, who else was out
Well, it's
there?
whoever drag race, they done. I mean, everyone
race.
did street race before they go drag racing.
Right.
That's for sure.
But then at some point, they all kind of turned their back on it. Do you remember like Racers Against Street Racing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They all kind of turned their back on where they came from, and that was always hard for me to swallow. Right.
Hey, the other old school. I remember another one. PFI, right? Brent from PFI.
Brent Rao, right? Yeah.
Oh, well, you got Brent Rao.
Yeah.
Brent from PFI from Colorado.
Yes. Okay.
Booster Boys.
Yeah. Booster
Boys. And then you
Yeah.
got Brent Rao.
And then Brent Rao.
Yeah. I mean, it's so many people out there. It was a big group back then.
It was a big group. Remember Eddie Bello?
Yes.
The Porsche?
Yep, I remember that guy. Yes. It's like I say, man. It's just a lot of people out there. It's I guess.
Well, we're not naming any names here. We're not. So I think we covered a lot, and I think we've kind of named a lot of the people who we've interacted with. What's I want to know. I want to know some highlights. I want to know what is some of your favorite moments or some of your favorite milestones that you've seen accomplished in like sport compact car world, in the sport compact car industry, in sport compact car like drag racing and motorsports.
Well, I mean, for me, like the way I love what I do. I mean, bro, every time it's almost every time there is somebody racing, it's something. Every time there's something new, there's a highlight every time because I know I did that part for that person. Like nowadays, it's like it's all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, talking about I don't know how far back. How far back do you wanna the question is basically that's what I want to know. How far back do you want to know?
Let's start. Okay, let's start in 98, 99, 2000. Like, what are those benchmarks?
Bro, if we go back, I mean, I remember back being in Las Vegas with Bergenholtz. I mean, when they run that 7-second pass against a Mustang, like there was a PSCA guys. I guess the event was really short. It ended out really early. And somebody came over and call out Ed.
Right.
And they say, I want to race you. And then
they called out Ron and Ed?
Yeah, Ron and Ed. They say, I want to race you.
What were they in?
There were some PSCA guys, some V8, I'm sure like big Mustangs and big power machines and
they were in the CRX?
No, they were on the Mazda.
Mazda?
This is like on the later like 10s.
So they were in the Mazda.
They were in the Mazda, and I mean, they won the event in Vegas.
Right.
And then it was early, and then the PSCA's guys were there. They were like, hey, and they came and called out those guys.
Yeah.
And, he went over and ran like a 770 against those guys. And the guy went like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Smoked them.
And then we were making the pistons for those guys back then.
Yeah.
That's always a cool moment.
That's a proud moment. Yeah, for sure.
That is a go like, man, that's so cool. And I mean.
And you're right there, right? You're right at the line.
I mean, bro, it's been so many cool times. I mean, proud moments. Cause
what else? Let's talk about those.
I've been, like I said, the same thing in Vegas. I mean, there's the Ken's Racing Engine with the fat kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they won so many events, and I mean, I know I make the parts for the guy. I mean, it's proud moments every time. I mean, there's times that I've been to every event. I mean, at least 3 of the guys that I make the parts for, they win the events.
Right.
First, I mean, all motor.
Yeah.
Real wheel drive and sport front wheel drive, sometimes. And even nowadays, I mean, if there's an event, at least I get in the classes, I get sport front wheel drive, or I get real wheel drive, or I get all wheel drive, and people that I deal with, it's crazy. I mean, I've been having those moments. I mean, proud moments for many years already at different levels, different people, different drivers, different setups. Like right now, I mean, my buddy Aaron Lopez from the H22 crew from Texas, they just last Monday they were on they got invited to no prep with the Street Outlaw guys. I make the pistons for the guys.
Yeah.
We make a lot of power with that thing, and then I know he beat Daddy Dave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, that's a cool moment for me.
That is a cool moment.
Me really proud, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think right now it's
has that episode aired yet?
Monday. It's gonna continue Monday.
Okay, cool.
But it's this Monday I mess up because I was 7:00 my time. It was 7:00 East Coast time.
Right.
Yeah. So I only got to see one run at the last one.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch the rest of the show because I only watched the last 10 minutes because it was already late for West Coast. Yeah.
Right.
For next Monday, I either record it or something. But I mean, it's pretty cool, man. Like
that is
cool
cool
for that guy.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and that's got to be. I mean, that's street racing too.
Mm-hmm. That's basically that's what it is.
It's street racing, right?
That's a pro level street racing.
Pro level street racing, right?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
and that's I feel like Street Outlaws has done a tremendous amount for street racing.
Oh yeah,
because before that, I mean, I feel like street racing was so vilified.
Yeah.
It was not just vilified, but I feel like it was like sensationalized in Fast and Furious and in the movie world. Mm-hmm. So it was sort of it was like looked up to, but at the same time, publicly, it was like vilified.
Yeah.
Because they started crushing cars, and they started,
I remember those days.
California
I remember
car
those
crushing?
days. Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
man.
those days.
Scared for my car.
Yeah.
Taking licenses, towing cars,
Yeah.
impounding all the cars that were at the street
Crazy.
races. And then now, because of a show,
They
because
get to do it legally. No one mess with them because they do it. I don't know. They do it the right way, or I don't know, whatever you call it. But I mean, they got some good deal going on.
they got a good deal going on. But these are, they're calling out street racers.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Who are street racing, right?
Yeah, and that's
so,
what it is. They run on the street. There's no guardrail. There's nothing. They just street racing, and they go fast.
Yeah,
all out.
You've been out? Have you been out to?
No, I never been to the. I would like to be part of.
Have you been to the street races at all? Any of the street races?
No.
Never?
No, I never been to one.
Oh man, they're awesome.
I've never been to. I always stay back.
Stay back. All right, makes sense.
When they do it on 135th, right? 135th and what is it, Maine?
Yeah.
It's down the street from my house, but I mean. One night I was gonna go, and I think that night somebody got shot.
Oh, yeah,
happens.
happens.
It happens.
It happens.
And I believe the reason why I always stay away from that is because I had my family when I was young guy.
Yeah,
I was 19 when I had my son Junior. 19.
And you couldn't roll to the street races with it,
because I didn't want to get in trouble because I needed to grow my kid.
Yep. Yeah.
And then I had my other son Jeff.
135th in Maine. If you look from a satellite picture on like Google Maps, you'll see the drag marks.
Yeah, there is always there.
Yeah,
there's always there.
Compton,
that's it.
Compton.
Yeah, that's what they call. Yeah,
And I heard they put speed bumps in Mansfield now. I think they put speed bumps.
Oh, really? I haven't been there. Before I used to drive there every day.
Yeah, you could see
I used to go to
drag strip.
But that's what areas used to be, 135th and Normandy.
Yeah.
So I used to just take Central and then 135th and get to the office. That was easy. Like 2 miles and 2.5 miles from my house.
Right. We were out there. I don't know. Not too long ago, I was out there with driver B, and we didn't get a chance to run. The cops were on us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was a grudge night. But
yeah, man. And then we've been supporting all of these people, the keeping the drag racing. I think and I feel like, I am a big part of the keeping the drag racing going because, everyone comes to me.
Yeah.
And I always been able to come up with something to help. I don't know, like 8 years ago, Barona, I think it's been Barona for many, many years, Barona, right? San Diego area. Yeah. And then the guy who was running Match Race Madness, Steve, he goes, hey, I'm running this deal over here, and then can we put some cars together and invite some people and come down there and race, do some match racing? This is not, 7, 8 years ago. And then we decided that we put a bunch of people together, and we went drag racing over there. Suddenly, I think like at least 3 or 4 cars got total over there because the racetrack at Barona is really, really short.
Yeah.
And it's not, and I think
it's an 8th mile, right?
It's an 8 mile, and it's a good 8 mile, but then the top end is just really bad.
Right.
And the moisture at night, it gets wet and slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went there with my buddy Santos with the Corolla, and then we did a match race over there with Chris Laufer. And then at the time with Santos' car, we beat him 2 out of 3. He was the fastest at the time.
Yeah, this was 6 years ago?
6, 7, or maybe 8 years ago. Chris Laufer
so
used to have the fastest VW, I guess, in the planet.
Right.
And we beat him 3 out of 7.
So this is before the front. This is when the sport front wheel drive started kicking back up, right? This is when drag racing started kicking back up.
Because there were like a few sport front wheel drives over there at the time. I think we was Sheepy.
Yeah.
Sheepy Alex.
Yep.
Alex Soto. Sheepy built with Giovanni's car. They went over there.
Yeah.
Who else went there with the sport front wheel drive? I think it was a handful of people.
Because I feel like the streets kept it alive.
Yeah, the street kept it alive.
Just enough. Like, I feel like the streets kept it alive just enough to have a pulse.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It was never dead. It wasn't never
It was
dead.
never
It was
dead.
always something going on.
Right.
But it was not really an event, like to go watch. It was just like the street racing and the little events. I don't know. When was the last time there was a IDRC event? I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years, 7 years ago.
Yeah. I think I would hear about them, but I wouldn't, I don't know who would go.
Yep. That was the other problem that, I don't know, nowadays too, it's some people go and support some promoters, some people don't. I mean, the rules or whatever the case may be.
Well, I think that's what killed it.
Yeah.
I think it's the fact that we had, remember what did we have? We had IDRC, we had NHRA,
Battle,
we had Battle,
and we had
Nopi,
and
then we had NIRA.
NIRA, yes,
right?
sir. Mm-hmm.
So we had 5 series, and they were all trying to cut each other's throats, right? So they would have events on the same weekend that other people had events on the other side of the country. So it split everyone up, right? And then because NHRA got involved, we saw like a ton of money come into the sport. Do you remember that?
Yep,
it was like, it went from being these little garage teams, these local crews, to being these huge haulers.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, because at one point, I mean, NHRA, they used to have uniforms. Like everyone was dressed just like the pros.
Right.
For like a couple seasons, I guess. Yeah, nice. And just like they do on the East Coast, you know, nowadays.
Right. But I feel like that's what stopped. We stopped getting the injections of new faces in the sport, because there was no, like, what chance did like a little privateer have of coming up and competing against like the Castrol team, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like the Venom team. Who else was running these crazy rigs, right? Like GM factory sponsored cars.
GM used to have all of those
right? The Saturns, right?
The Saturns, yeah.
The Solstices.
At the end, that was it. At the end, Marty Ludwig, Lisa Kubo, Gardella. Yeah. Those guys used to be at the end. That was it.
World Racing, right?
World Racing.
Chris Rados.
Chris Rado.
Yeah. Huge
Solara.
rigs.
Well, that was like I think back in those days, that was the best of the best back in those days when those guys were racing. Yeah, the part that we did enjoy.
Right.
I mean, and like again, for me, that was because I never stopped. So that being, to me, it was just something that we went through, but I kept on going. I never been out. So
yeah,
I remember all of the stuff in the transitions that we've been doing from making 800 horsepower, making 1,000.
Yeah.
Making 1,200.
Those are the benchmarks.
1,400s. Running, I mean, like I said, like
to like 2,000 nowadays.
Well, a couple of years ago, I think the fastest, no, I think it got to be more than that. I remember when one of my guys, I mean, like I said, bro, proud moments. I mean, it's so many because, I mean, my guy, they call him El Bobo from Florida. And he's the one on the Integra. He ran the first, on the Sport Formula, the first 822 seconds, like at 170 miles an hour.
Right.
And not only the first one with shelf pistons.
Really?
Yeah, he ran like the first. That's the first guy who hit the number 822 for a long time.
Right.
And then,
what year was this?
I think that has to be at least 6-7 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
That's before Speed Factory hit that.
Oh yeah, that was Speed Factory before that. Yeah, before that. Yeah, I remember too when I met those guys from Speed Factory. I met them in Infineon Raceway right down in Sacramento. Yeah. Sacramento. Yeah. Right. What is the name of the racetrack? It's I know it has a new name now, but it used to be Infineon back in the day.
Oh, that was like in Sac?
Yeah, it was like this Sacramento. You go by the water.
We just called it Sac. Yeah. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Infineon, right? Was that?
It used to be Infineon. There's a road race track over there too, and all kind of.
Was it Infineon?
And I think it goes up the race. I mean, it looks like Las Vegas. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But that was shoot, wasn't that the track north of San Francisco?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
What's that?
I know it's Infineon.
Sonoma.
Yeah, Sonoma. Yes, Sonoma.
Yeah,
that's it right there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I met those Speed Factory guys. They weren't. I mean, they just the babies back then.
Just babies, right?
Yeah, and I've been working with these guys ever since.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's over 10 or more years ago.
Right. Because you
It's gotta be more.
you make their pistons, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, man. We went from those guys from running 9s, 8s, and now they're in the 6s. Now they're running 6s.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Sport front wheel drive.
Now they got the all-wheel drive.
The all-wheel drive's in the
The all-wheel
6s,
drive's in
right?
the 6s. And
Their
then,
sport front wheel drive's in the 7s, right? Aren't they
Sport front wheel drive are on the 7s. Yeah, the
high
fastest
7s.
sport front wheel drive B series, which is Chapulín, is 769.
769, right?
But just at the end of the year, we had this guy from. He also ran our pistons to mass work, and then he has a SR20.
right.
He runs 765. It's a Nissan 200 SX.
Wow.
Yeah, SR20. Now the SR20 is the fastest in the sport front wheel drive.
That's wild.
765. So now that's the number to chase.
Yeah.
You know. But now and then we got all of these case. That was B series. Now we got
Right.
this K series also on the 7. There's a bunch of them on the 7. And then before,
Right.
nobody wanted to deal with the K series because they weren't able to go
Wasn't
on the
supported.
7s. Yeah,
right. 'Cause
now
it wasn't
looks like
supported.
one guy figured it out, and
Yeah.
now everybody figured it out because they all running the same. They're running 7 and fasters.
Wow.
And these are the guy running 5s, with the K series. That is insane.
how far out do you think if we'll see 6s out of sport front wheel drive?
Well, my personal opinion, when I talk to people, I think they need to slow them down already.
Yeah, you
There's
think
not enough. There's not enough chest. I mean, the wheelbase on this thing was so scary.
at
But again,
6s?
the Starlets and the Corollas, the Puerto Ricans, they've been running that for a long, long time. But I think the Hondas,
I feel like
it's a different chassis, I think, or something. But the tires, I mean, the 20.
but the Starlet, remember the Starlets and the Tercels
Yeah, man.
and all of those, when they started running in the 6s, they'd go on their roofs. They'd crash,
Oh yeah, they crashed.
right? The
But now they
7s,
running.
they can get them in the 7s, no problem.
Mhm.
But now what are they doing?
But they running on the 6.4s, 6.3s. Yeah, they
Yeah.
running on the 6.3s.
That is have to be the sketchiest ride on the planet.
Bro, they on the
Yeah,
wheelie the whole time.
because those are those are what 100-inch wheelbase cars? No, less than that,
Less
right?
than that,
They're
like
like
94.
94 wheelbase cars.
Yeah, they really
That's
scary.
crazy.
Scary. The
That-
Corollas are about the same.
That's like a CRX wheelbase
Mm-hmm.
on a rear-wheel drive car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's crazy. It's cool and it's not cool because I mean when you see this, luckily we don't have that many crashes. But I mean,
Right.
could you celebrate when you're part of it, and then when I see a crash, I just get sad,
Yeah.
because I don't want to. That's the last thing I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
like
John
the day-
Lingenfelter. Were you there when he crashed?
No.
Do you remember that? It was like Pomona. It was during the NHRA Sport Compact event. He ran.
I don't
He was running a
remember.
GM.
Yeah, I do remember. I
Yeah.
do remember. Yeah, that's that GM. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we ran down the track. It
I
was like-
seen a lot of people crash. I saw Chapulín crash. I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Walkout finals.
Yeah, rest in peace, John Lingenfelter. Like, he was a good dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was nicest dude.
Yep. Yeah, man. I seen a lot. I mean, but I think
Jason Parks just crashed.
yeah.
And
I
it's-
wasn't there. I wasn't there yet when he crashed. Cause he crashed like on Thursday. I understand. Yeah, and then I got there on Friday.
And
Or
he's
Wednesday.
he's walking around and he's
It sounds like he's doing well.
yeah. Yeah.
Thank God, man, that he was bad when
Indo Jeff just ran into him. I guess he's doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, that's a hard hit.
Oh, he was.
I
But
mean,
the safeties, I mean, the guy has all the equipment.
Yeah, but
Jason,
that's the testament to having all the right equipment.
That is something that you gotta give to Jason. He has the right equipment. And
Well,
that's another good thing that I when Jason had an interview with the guys from Nice One,
mm-hmm.
and that was pretty cool because I mean Jason was sharing all of his equipment and everything that he has. I mean everything did the job.
Right. Everything
did the job, and that's what we want. You know, go fast and have all the equipment.
And it's, I mean, I feel like the NHRA standard for going this fast has been paved by a ton of people who sacrificed their lives.
Yes.
To create the infrastructure or to create these rules or the rule book that keeps all these people safe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way the cages are built. I mean, how long have they been doing? NHRA has been doing stuff since like the 50s.
Oh yeah, they've been
right.
Yeah,
I don't even
50s. They go 50s. Yep.
But like, just the way they used to run things. I mean, no cages, no helmets, and then that's
it used to be bad. Yeah, just but that's all they had at the time. I mean, and they weren't running that fast. I mean, it was fast up for the times because they were running sixes a long time ago.
Yeah.
They were running sixes a long time ago.
Yeah. I love those old pictures of like the front engines.
Oh, the front engine
with like the gas masks on,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just those old nostalgia ones they run now. With just like
so
full
cool.
gas masks and like.
That's coming up. I mean, March meet. I mean, it's coming up.
It's Bakersfield. Yeah.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
And then this weekend is the Grand Roaster show too over in Fairplex.
You heading over to that?
I'm going there tomorrow.
Are you going to nostalgia?
Yeah, it's nostalgia stuff. Yeah. So that's the show.
Cool.
Just that's the car show, and then the Bakersfield is just a nice nostalgia racing.
Yeah, because you're making. I mean, but that's the cool part about what you do is you're making pistons.
Yeah,
for
that is the cool part, man. I make pistons for crazy nitros or nitro motorcycles, anything motorcycle.
Right.
And then I go to nostalgia. I make anything from blown alcohol for pro nitro.
And you go to. I mean, how many events do you go to a year?
I go to quite a few of them. I mean, I cover all the local ones and travel to the East Coast to watch the big events.
Right.
Yeah.
As far
in between all of us here at the office, I mean, we cover a lot of events.
So what's your? Because you get to cherry pick which ones you go to, right?
Yeah, we got to sign in the beginning of the year what events we want to go. But I haven't, like, this year I haven't put nothing down on the calendar or request anything because, I mean, COVID is still out there and look like people still getting sick. And I got sick really bad. Yeah, so I kind of stepped back for a little bit. One whole year I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
They asked me, hey, do you want to go, I mean, Orlando, you want to go to Walk Up, you want to go to Atco? I said, you want to go to Texas? I said, no, I don't want to travel. Okay, understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now, I mean, last year, I was scared, but I went to Walk Up, and it was cool. I didn't want to go to Atco, and I didn't want to go to Texas for Texas 2K.
Right.
And also, I didn't want to go to SEMA. Yes, it's too many people. Like I said, what I went through when I had the COVID, it's scary.
Yeah, because you're in the hospital too, right?
No, I didn't. But my two uncles died, and then at that time it was so bad because there was.
You were almost going to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I almost died. That one night, I told my wife, "Hey, I think I'm done," and I mean that's it, you know. And I just turned, and then the next morning, I felt better. But I mean, when I was walking like 100-year-old man when I started walking out of COVID.
How scary is that?
It's bad, bro. That's a bad deal.
Because we lost a lot of people.
We lost a lot of people.
But we lost Gabe, and that was the closest person to me that was like didn't make it.
I know, man.
And you know, I mean, my girlfriend and I had it, and it was like not that bad. And we don't, you know, I also got like a ton of these natural immune boosters, you know, like zinc and, you know, grapefruit seed extract and quercetin, and, you know, I had a whole regimen, like garlic.
Yeah,
I was
garlic
eating garlic and rolling my back out and doing these breath exercises and doing everything. So we didn't. My cousin had it in the beginning of it because he's a paramedic, and then so him and his now wife had it, and they were pretty bad. So I thought, well, this is pretty bad. And then we got it from separate. We went to Vegas and we came back, and like we ended up getting it. I don't know who we got it from, but we had shut the shop down. This is over the holidays, so we had shut the shop down at you know, Engineering Concepts, and talking to Gabe because we were going to get back in the shop and start filming again. We were working on a all-wheel drive CRX project, and like he's like, yeah, man. He's like, nah, we're not gonna open up for a little bit longer. I got COVID, and so I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And his cousin had it, Bert had it, and then he got it, and then it was like, we just didn't expect him not to recover, you know. And I know you and Gabe were close, and you know.
Oh yeah, really, really cool.
And so, it was just the craziest thing to just not hear from him, because the whole time we were messaging, and you know, I was like I sent him the list of all the stuff we were doing, and you know exactly what he did. He looked at it and, you know, cracked his Coors and like sipped it down, but like, you know, I mean, that's really the saddest thing, and that's the saddest part about it, is that not only did we lose a brother, but we lost all of the stories
and knowledge
yeah, that Gabe used to tell.
He was part of what we got going on today.
Yeah, because he built that Speed Factory engine that took him into was it the sevens, right? What the original, when they broke the record of, was it the eights they got into? The eights.
I think the eights. Yeah.
So he built the motor that got him into the eights, and it was like he was this part of this industry that like can never really be replaced. And so, I mean, that's really the genesis of this, of what started me thinking like, okay, I got to get something together and start telling these stories, and like, you know. And so I just want to make sure that like we get to everyone's story, you know. And I'm glad that you made it. I'm glad Tom made it. Tom had some health stuff, not COVID related, but he had some heart stuff. Right. And, you know, we've been doing this a long time, and I feel like anyone who's doing this level of car stuff, we've lived hard lives.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, how many all-nighters, how many,
like, for example, myself, I mean, I now that I go back, I go, wow, I spend so many hours and days away from my family to be at the races,
right?
You know, to be at the birthdays. I mean, a lot of important things that you don't think that you want to go. You'd rather be at the racetrack for some reason. You know, it's crazy.
It calls you.
It's crazy.
You can't. I was talking to Kurt about it. It's like, he reminded me that my first time traveling was with like the KG camp. Was going to like Bandamere and all these different places, and it sits with you. Yeah. There's something, it speaks to you. There's something about being right there on the line, not in the stands, but right there on the line.
They're right there. Yep. Yeah. That's how I am. Like now that I got more access to be in a water box with everybody, and I go like, if I go to the stands, I feel like I don't belong there. I gotta be over there with everybody, and it's good and it's bad. I mean, and then the other bad thing is you're hearing.
What?
You're hearing after a while. You can.
Wait, you hearing?
No, you lose your hearing.
Gearing for the cars, gearing.
It's
gearing.
It's
wait.
No. What I'm saying is that when you
kidding.
down,
I'm kidding.
Not the gear and the hearing.
Hearing. I'm kidding.
Yeah, the hearing, and then I go like, man, that's bad. When I come back from the races, I go like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I mean, and it takes a couple days to come back and because I sometimes I go like, what was that?
Yeah.
We especially being behind the top fuels, man, those things are really bad. Even with
you've got to be in the water box behind the top fuels.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And
What's that like?
yeah, that's crazy. That's you feel like you're gonna come apart yourself because it's so
Oh my
the
god!
pounding is so bad.
I feel like you could feel that 2 cities over.
Yeah. Even when you get to see it like right across the water box, like in Pomona, and that everything shakes.
Yeah,
Everything shakes.
it's violent.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
in a beautiful way.
Yeah. Well, that's what we love to do. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's not. It's cool and it's not cool because anything happens there. I mean,
Yeah, those things
you're
come
a dead
apart.
man. Yeah. You die. 'Cause those parts are flying like worse than like a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
so that's what but they say they don't want you in there, but you want to be there.
You wanna be there, yeah.
That goes,
Man,
Yeah,
it reminds me of just holding on to the cars and like keeping them from trying to like, you know what I mean? Like holding them down back on like LACR when they would do the burnouts, you know, just like just going around checking all the doors and making sure everything's like shut. And
that's one thing that when I go to Bakersfield that I hang out with the guys that run the show over there. I'm in the middle with them, and that I always watch after the burnout. I always watch nothing is leaking.
Yeah.
And I tell the guy if I see something, I tell the guy running the light, hey, stop it! I see
Yeah.
water, and I'm always watching because I don't want no accidents. I don't want to see.
Yeah, that's that. So I get to still do that with the drift cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's like, there's just something about being the last, like checking the car, making sure you're listening, you're looking, there's like something about that.
So I tell my guys over at Bakersfield, I go, I'm not here just to stand here behind. I always watch, and if anything flies out or anything is dripping, oil, water, whatever the case may be, I'm always watching.
Right.
I'm always watching over there. I'm there for like enjoy, but I'm also watching what's going on.
Right. Yeah. You gotta be.
And then I stop a few cars before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they leaking, and then I know if they leaking, it's gonna go to the back tire, and what's gonna happen? It's just gonna go to the wall.
Go to the wall. Yeah.
Yep. So
what do you think? What's your take on the whole all-wheel drive explosion?
Man, that's so cool. What's his name? The guy who started it all. Well, the guy who started the all-wheel drive scene is a guy from up north, local guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? It's a green hatch. And then
what was the first all-wheel drive?
The first
all-wheel drive, Honda. Do you remember that?
Well, you made one. You had one, back original, original,
like 03.
Yeah, you had one of the first one.
Yeah.
And then Driver V got a CRB after a while, right? Because he had an all-wheel drive CRB.
Yeah.
But then the guy who went really running like on the 8s with it was
that green one, right?
It's the green one from the East Coast. I don't know if I'm wearing what T-shirt I'm wearing today. I might be wearing that one.
Yeah, I think he
Tri-State. I think
from Tri-State. The Tri-State
guy. From Tri-State guy. Yeah. I think that's the T-shirt that I got under here. The fastest all-wheel drive ever at the beginning. And
the beginning of it, that kicked
that's
everything
the guy who got everybody started really, because
and that woke up the Honda scene again.
Because he did it just with OEM parts. I understand he didn't have a lot of crazy stuff, just the CRB parts, right?
Yeah.
That's what he did. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because we were shooting. So, 18. Was it? Must have been 2018. We were shooting.
I think it was before that.
It was a little before that, but we were shooting a show for Motor Trend in 2018, and it was. You remember it was called Under Pressure 9K.
Yep.
And so one of the builds on the show was an all-wheel drive CRX that we were building, and so they shot that out, and then because of it was tied into the Matt Van Kirk episode, and so Motor Trend pulled those 2 episodes. So they're on the shelf somewhere in whatever, but we had kicked off this all-wheel drive build, and Gabe was a part of it. And so, but after that, we had tried to go back through and kind of, they took some of the parts, and a lot of stuff was missing that, for the 9K people, we took some of the stuff. So we had to kind of recollect and reconfigure, and we'd started shooting that whole all-wheel drive build. And so that was the last thing that him and I were doing before he passed, was this all-wheel drive deal. We were kind of reshooting this all-wheel drive CRX build, but it was still in its infancy. And that was like, what, 2018, you could barely find parts. You know, there was like AKD was doing the rear, like rebuilt rear CRV, and they were starting to make like hold up to like 800 horsepower, and now they're holding like over 1,000, and like, you know, you could still get the like Wagovan stuff for like $500, you know.
Now they figure it out because Speed Factory is making 2,000 horsepower now with that deal.
And everything's billet.
Everything's billet now. That's the beauty of the changing on all of, I mean, the machining, technology.
Yeah, but
before it was so hard to cut any billet part, you know, and you done it, you try it before, and it was hard. Now with the technology and tooling, and the machines,
you could scan it. You could just scan the housing.
The access to from the machine, 5 axis. I mean, like we have machines in there that they just flip all kind of ways and then get it done.
Right. But I mean, what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
It's just that we can go and, like, you can go and order whatever you want. If you have the money, you can order whatever you want and have it show up to your house. Put together your kit. Relatively easy, and have like you could have a 9-second car on 350 horsepower?
Yeah. Yep.
Versus, 98, 97, 96, right?
Yep. There was nothing available.
You spent all your money and you had like a 13-second car, a 12-second car. You were doing things.
No technology. I remember, and I still see the big Victor, manifolds, right?
Yeah.
I still see them out there.
Yeah.
And I go, whoa, those are the originals. That should be in the museum already.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that, all the parts were just, I mean, I think Kurt and I were talking about like Rev Hard was like the turbo. And before that, it was the drag. Remember drag turbo kits?
Grady used to have that.
Grady used to have a turbo kit, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like it.
Yeah, that was it.
Or you're like making your stuff, and everybody made their stuff, you know.
Now every week you see somebody's coming out with a new turbo, you know, for so many of them out there now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's crazy that it's so supported. You know what I mean? Like, and that's I think that's something that I keep coming around to and trying to convey to people is like you don't understand how good it is now. Like, you're living in an era where all of the information is on your phone. Yeah. Right? You can look up anything you want to know, right? And there's a how-to on YouTube, or there's some information on, there's a wiring diagram, or there's everything that you want to know.
You want to, so simple. You want to change a light in any car. The video is there. You just type it in and you find it. Anything that you want to see.
Anything you want to order. Most platforms are supported.
Yeah.
If it's a Honda Civic, if it's a B series, if it's a K series, if it's a 2JZ, if it's a SR20, if it's a, anything,
Yeah, we're the lucky ones. I tell people that all the time, that we're the lucky ones that we saw the like the stereos, the cassette, we saw the 8-track, we saw the disc players, we saw all of that, and now we move into everything wireless.
Right. My entire CD collection is on a single SD card this big that I can.
Exactly.
I mean, like right now, we're literally sitting outside of Arias Pistons CP in Carrillo, and Arias Pistons has a really long heritage, and I have a friend of the family who had a relationship with Nick Jr. and used to build these the Ranger engines.
And the Hemi motors too. I mean, that was his.
Right.
Yeah.
But like airplane, these like Ranger airplane motors.
Yes.
And used to put them in these like sprint cars. These like circle track, dirt track, circle track cars.
Yep.
And so he'd always be talking to me about going down and having lunch, or he's an old timer, but it's, it was always really cool being able to come in there as like a young dude coming up in the sport compact world, or bringing up the sport compact world, and just having some conversations with Nick Jr. I feel honored that just such like amazing heritage is like I got to be in the presence of, for like, you know, drag racing and motorsports and all the things that that he did for the industry. And there's something that I really respect, is that you still go pay him tribute on his gravesite and leave some flowers, and I think I really appreciate that, and I think that really shows your character. And, you know, for those out there who are watching or just listening that don't know your character, that should speak very highly of the kind of person you are. You do go above and beyond for people, and you do hold like a high level of respect for people who deserve respect in this industry. And you've always spoke highly of me, and you always are the first to tell people like the things that I've done, and what an impact it was on the scene or whatever. And I always really appreciate that about you. So I'd love to hear about, you know, your time with Arias Pistons, and like what that meant to you, and just like the kind of the lineage that you've got to be a part of.
Well, I think it's pretty cool, man. Now that you were talking about the old days, what they did for the industry. When I first came over there, I remember we used to have a little 2 pages little catalog for shelf parts. And I remember back in the day, the pistons on the shelf used to be Toyota 22R.
Right.
And the Nissan L26s.
Right.
That was the hot item on the shelf.
Wow.
Yeah, when I came, they used to be called mini pistons.
The mini pistons?
Mini pistons. Yeah, there is a paper still out there that is.
Because I
have one. It used to be the Sport Compact catalog. Only like 6-7 items only.
Because that's like the 260Z. What 280Z?
No, that's like that 260. Yeah, like 260. Yeah,
260Z.
like 260Z. Yeah,
right.
the Z that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Z 6-cylinder.
The 72.
Datsun.
The Datsun 72. Yeah, and the 22R. Yeah, it's the 84.
22R. Yeah.
84. No, 81. Right, the 20 and 22Rs. 20Rs.
Yeah, 20Rs.
There were 20Rs back then, man.
And that's the only thing
that's what the mini pistons that used to be on the shelf. I mean, it's just a handful of part numbers.
Wow.
And then after a while, I mean, we got into the Hondas, you know,
right.
the B series stuff, and then growing and growing and growing. I mean, B series is, I mean, it started it, and D series, and I think the biggest market of all ever since I remember Honda B series.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I could tell you how many Honda B series I sold.
Yeah, it has to be a lot.
So many of them. I mean, it's and we're talking 25 years, you know, like crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
When I did a 10.2 in my CRX with some B series pistons in it. Yeah.
Man, it goes back. I mean, that's where it started everything. Because I mean, if you're talking about pistons, I mean, Subaru is not that popular. I mean, SR20 a little bit, but Honda B series, K series, Mitsubishi is a little bit. It's kind of right.
Right.
But Honda's that are the top.
Honda takes the cake for aftermarket. Yeah. I feel like people doing something to a Honda. Mm-hmm. I feel like no one has a Honda and doesn't do something to it.
Yeah. So when I came to Arias, I mean, back when that was, like I said, 1998, and I started getting in there and feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, and then started going to the races with Nick Arias and the old man. You know, you just was the old man with us.
Yeah.
And, dinners, I mean, breakfast, lunch, dinners. I mean, everything with that guy. You know, it was cool. And then we did it for a good time. Make the coffee for him every morning.
Yeah.
And, I used to. I mean, a lot of respect for the guy, man. And I learned a lot from these old guys that I work with. I mean,
right.
There's another guy out there that a lot of people don't know because for some reason he don't get to do not even something like this that me and you doing over here, you know, like.
Right.
And I don't think he ever been interviewed. Steve Montrelli, man, he was back in the day. He used to be the cruise ship for Schumacher.
Oh, wow.
Don Schumacher, bro. He used to work with them. The crew chief for Don
Wow.
Schumacher. He's like a really well-known tuner, engine builder, and everything. But he's not out there.
Right.
I worked with him over at Arias, I think, for 10 years. Tom did too, and the other guy that worked at Arias for a minute, not a long time. I don't know if you remember Ronnie Souls.
Okay.
Ronnie
Yeah.
work at Arias. Mike, the other guy that worked there is Mike Callahan.
Okay.
He worked over there, and there was another Mike, but Mike. I don't remember his last name, but I mean, it was a handful of people. Cause at Arias, I mean, it was if you come and work over there, you stay there. As long as you want. Cause I don't think Nick Arias was.
Yeah, if
gonna
you
fire
came,
anybody.
yeah, if he hired you, your family.
Yeah, your family. Yeah,
And it was such a small shop,
it was a small shop for sure.
which is, I mean, I come here to, CP Carrillo, Arias, and it's like massive, right? Like this place is massive. This is a complex, and this is just one building.
Yeah, and there's three more.
There's three more down the street, right?
Yeah.
And so just the contrast is just from knowing where it came from. It's just like, wow, just what they got done in that small little building, right? It's just mind blowing.
It was crazy, and because then I mean, we were the competition, to this big place, at Arias. Yeah, that was we were the competition. I mean, Arias and CP. I don't think it was even JE.
Right.
I think it was Arias, the competition, because I always been doing sport compact, and I always been pushing it, and I was pushing it hard, and then my guys was always on top, and and I mean I mean we used to make good parts, for what it was, Arias,
Yep.
But now you come over here, and then with So Nick Arias passed away, right? Let's go back a little bit. So when Nick Arias passed away, the three brothers over here, the Calvert brothers, which is Snake, Barry, and Dave,
right?
They worked at Arias back on, I think, from the 70s to the 80s.
Right.
And then I guess they parted out with Nick, and then they went into JE.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I mean, I think they were there at JE for at least 10 years.
Right.
And then in 2000 or I think it was 1999 when they came over and opened up CP Pistons.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then time goes by, and Nick Arias got tired and got old, and then he passed away, and then put the company, the family didn't want to keep the business open, so they offer it to them, and they were like more than happy to buy the company, you know. And then we made the transition to move over here. So the cool thing is that I work at Arias on Friday, and I started working at CP on the following Monday.
Wow.
So I got here.
So who was the first person to come say hi after you moved?
Here?
Yeah.
Well, when Nick Arias passed away.
No, I mean once you came here.
When I came here, the first person who came and said hello to me.
Who came to say hello?
Out of the CP guys, out
of like all the
racer. out of the racers.
Yeah.
I think you're one of the you came.
I came, yeah.
You came, or like I think you're probably the first guy who came, really, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got well, you've been here a few times, but I think you're the first one who came over and said hello here at this place when I first
man, because
moved.
you're family.
Yeah, you know? And then I got a few people who was happy to visit me when I moved here, and then I mean they were like happy to have me here and to have Arias' name, and we started blending in, you know, little by little, and it was hard for everybody when we first moved.
Has to be, you know,
because their machining way and the Arias machining way is two different. There was two different things.
Right.
So our forging, the way our forging was designed, versus the CP, they didn't match.
Okay.
For the machine. So that was a big problem. At the beginning, people say, oh, they don't want to make Arias piston. No.
Right.
The machines
weren't set up
to accept the Arias forging.
Right, because the
So
machines that you guys were using were
a little older
they were
machine.
dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, they were little dinosaurs. Yeah, suddenly, yeah, it was a little old machine.
But it's crazy. So I'm gonna remind you of a story about, and you told me when you came here, it was about when they inspected the pistons, right? That they couldn't believe the quality that was coming out of what you guys were working with, right? How, because they have, I mean, they're state of the art, like laser, right? Don't they have like computer laser scanning? Don't they scan for their quality? You have this like incredible high level of like quality control.
Oh yeah,
right, and R&D and all that stuff, and so like I thought it was quite the testament to the lineage that they were so impressed with the quality and like how precise the pistons were coming from old technology. Yeah.
At the at the end, I think we had at Arias, I think we had like three CNC or 4 CNC machines that were right at the end, but that was at the end.
Right.
But at the beginning, I mean, it was most of the stuff was manually. And then we bought a turning machine, which is the piston was coming better.
Yeah.
And that's when we got better. But then we come here. I mean, I think we moved here on 2017, the end of 2017, we moved here. And I mean, like I say, it was hard to blend in.
What was the hardest part about blending in?
I mean, the hardest part for me was I thought that it was going to be easy just moving Friday over there, and they were going to be able to make pistons over here just with everything. But there were 2 different programs too. It wasn't connecting. The program from Arias and the job cards that we call them, right?
Yeah.
And they weren't the same. They got a higher technology. We got the old school style. So all of that old school style, trying to blend in the new stuff. I mean, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
And people calling me, Elmer, I need pistons. And I go, well, we're trying, but it's the CP don't want to make the parts anymore. I go, yeah, they want to make them. That's the reason why they bought the company. Oh, they shut down Arias already. I said, no.
Right.
But what people didn't get, it's like when I moved here, the first thing they did, they said, where are your Arias shirts? All of these. And I go, bring them. We're just gonna add the CP logo to your shirts, right off the back. I mean,
that's cool.
And on the other hand, people out there saying, "Oh, so they shutting down Arias? They just bought it to kill it." No. And I go, bro, that's not the case. That's not the case. So
it felt like from my perspective, it felt like they purchased the company and they took it on with a tremendous level of respect.
Yes, exactly.
And I mean, when does that happen in this day and age, in this industry?
Oh, man.
Somebody would just absorb the clients, put their name on it, and send it out the door. But it's like there's a huge level of respect, and it's
Arias. I mean, you walking there in the shop. I mean, we could walk over there right now, and you can see half and half of the parts. And now, forgings, Arias, new updated everything, Arias. I mean, T-shirts, the spec sheet that goes to John Force, the spec sheet to go to Calera, it's the same spec sheet print that you will get with your pistons.
Wow.
So everyone's get the same the logos. They both Arias CP,
right.
Arias CP, and people still say today, "Oh, when are they gonna shut down Arias?" I go, never.
They're not.
It doesn't look like never gonna happen. They love the name. They love the name. A lot of respect for Nick Arias.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what it is. I think, and I kind of explain people all the time. Arias not going anywhere. If that's what you're thinking and you're hoping for. I mean, you should think about. Don't waste your time because it don't look like it's gonna happen.
Right.
Forgings. I mean, we order forgings here by thousands. We don't order by minimum order to order forging. Just you probably don't know that it's 250. 250 pieces
parts.
we have to order to get like a good price.
Right. So you order thousands.
Yeah. So we ordered thousands at the time.
That's cool.
Yeah, we ordered thousands. I mean, we make I mean, if we at Arias we used to make 5 sets at a time. Over here we make 20 sets at a time.
Wow.
But we have the forgings. We have.
Right.
I mean, company has the money to buy forgings.
Yeah.
When we don't have something, it's because we don't want to have it, or we don't have the money to buy it. This is not available.
Right.
It's not available. That's why we don't have it, because it's not available.
Right.
Money, company has money.
Right. Right.
You know, it's just not available, and it's not available for anybody.
Right. Right.
And yeah, but at the beginning when I first came in, started walking in the shop. Everybody goes like, they used to look at me like, "Oh, you're the competition." I say, "I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not the competition. I'm one of
you guys
one of
now.
you guys now."
Yeah.
It was crazy, but everybody who works in the shop, they're all good people,
Yeah.
that experience, and everybody already learned that.
Yeah.
That's what it is, you know, 2 companies together, and everyone makes parts with pride, just like I do, you know.
Right.
And the cool thing is, I
did
like
well.
welcome. You're now part of this family.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was cool, and everybody here is good people, you know, like
Yeah.
more like we all. I mean, professional.
Right.
More professional, and more people, you know, so the stress level is less.
Right.
Working with, 'cause you don't have to do too much,
Right.
or dedicate your time to what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Yeah, but which is it's good and it's bad. Because in a small place, you learn to do a lot of things, you know, not just one thing. Like I can go and measure anything you want. You want me to find you some ring? I go put my hands on and get you a ring set.
Right.
I go find you some good rings and give you the right stuff.
Right. Right.
And big companies just have to email, I need this from your desk. I need this, and they bring it to you.
Yeah.
And I was used to go, I need this, and I go grab it myself and do it
Right,
myself,
right.
and send it to you, or give it to you myself. And over here, big companies just like, it works that way, you know.
Yeah.
You just sit on your desk and send an email in, and then
Shows
next
up.
thing you know, it just shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
I bet that was hard to get used to.
Yeah, it was hard for me.
Because you were
yeah.
super hands-on.
It was super, super hands-on.
Right.
At the beginning, I used to be in the warehouse checking rings, and I go, no, you go to your desk. Anything you need, you just request it. We'll bring it to you.
Right.
Yeah. So it was cool. It was different. It was hard to understand and be and get used to.
Yeah.
Do that, you know, like I was like you say, hands on every day, all day. You know, if I needed to do in my off time, go help shipping, do some stuff. I used to go help shipping, do some stuff, help you pull parts, help
Yeah,
you
that's just
check stuff. And,
yeah.
yeah.
But
And
now,
over here is a person doing inspection. There's 2 guys doing inspection.
Yeah.
Over here. It's a guy that inspect the ring. It's a guy who inspect the pins. It's a guy who make the boxes to put the pistons in.
God.
It's a guy who, I mean, everything.
That's
is
what production is.
organized,
Yeah.
for production.
That's what production is. Yeah.
So it's not that you make the boxes, you wash the pistons, you put them in the box, you go print the label, you put the label, you put it in a UPS truck. No, it doesn't work like that here.
Yeah, everyone has their job. Yeah.
It's a from your hands to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, until it gets to the person who orders the part. So yeah, it's a big difference working in a big shop, but I mean it's been 5 years already that I'm here, and
Wow.
it's good, and then nothing. Well, a lot of things have changed, because some people did left me
Yeah.
when I wasn't able to supply parts.
Yeah.
But I got some new ones,
Right.
and the one who stick around,
Yeah.
they're the one who being treated like loyal people.
Yeah.
Let's say that, loyal.
And those are
people.
probably the ones breaking records out there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man.
So who's holding records right now? You got a lot of records.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, like I was telling you earlier. So, all motor. It's that guy in Florida that holds the old motor record for Honda Nitro.
Okay.
And then there's not even normal old motor anymore, like a
Like it used to be.
E85 or nothing like that.
It's all
anymore.
nitro.
It's just nitro stuff.
Yeah.
You know how it is. And,
Yeah.
1150 class. I mean, got a bunch of guys, East Coast or West Coast. I have a lot of those guys. I think we got most of the people. I would say, and at any event, I think we get the most.
Right.
Yeah, but I got a.
You hear that? You hear that?
Yeah.
That's the song of our people.
Yeah. Right.
And if you guys don't know, we're in a school bus. If you just listen to us on the podcast format, we are in a school bus. This is Pepper the school bus, and you're gonna get some noise. You're gonna hear some outside noise. We're not in a complete sound stage, so it's the rawness of it. This is what you're gonna get, and sometimes we get little treats like that, like something going by, and some pops and bangs happening. So.
Yeah, and we outside CP Piston with all the magic happens.
Where all the magic happens.
Yeah. That's it. And then
all right, so as far as events, right? What's your favorite events? Because you're saying that you can set your calendar and set the events that you're gonna. What is an event you wouldn't miss or series that you would not miss?
Well, for Sport Compact, definitely World Cup Finals.
World Cup Finals,
That's it. That's what it's at.
Back east, huh?
Yeah, because I don't know if you know that, but to go to World Cup Finals, you gotta have a video and a paper that you can run the number to qualify on the 32 field.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, it's 64. It's 64.
Right.
So 64 people go in that class. Let's say a sport front wheel drive. You can't just drive in and I'm gonna be on the sport front wheel drive. No, you gotta turn in
a video and a time slip.
A video and a time slip to show that you can be in the 64 field. They say if you.
I never knew that's how they did their. That's how they qualify, right? That's how they do.
Well, that's how they set the ladder up. So let's say.
Yeah.
So let's say they're gonna start qualifying at 850.
Yeah.
So from the get-go, you gotta be able to run 850.
You gotta be an 850 car. Yeah.
But to qualify this year on a sport front wheel drive 32 field, I think it was like 8-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how big the field is then.
It's crazy.
That's so cool.
8-0.
It's so cool to see sport front wheel drive happening.
I think right now we easily have already like at least 40 cars running on the sevens.
Are they? And they're doing all-wheel drive too for World Cup.
And now there's
this year,
all-wheel
right?
drive. All-wheel drive. I mean, they've been doing all-wheel drive, but mismatch. So now they kind of have a class.
They have a class for
There's
it.
enough cars already with the sport front-wheel drive.
What's the minimum time? What's the minimum ET
for sport front-wheel drive?
Four-wheel drive. Yeah.
Oh, front-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive.
Oh, the all-wheel drive
All-wheel
stuff.
drive.
I think it's last I checked, I think Speed Factory was on a. Oh no, that was the Outlaw 745. I think the all-wheel drive like on the 7.6s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Sport front-wheel drive again is 765 at 2,400 pounds.
No wheelie bar.
No wheelie bar. No wheelie bar.
Just traction control.
Just traction control and boost.
And boost.
And the nitro. And on the nitro, there's a. I think the guy with nitro, he run like a 880 already.
Right.
On nitro.
For all motor nitro.
All motor nitro, 8.0s. Yep, and all-wheel drive. The Pro chassis, which is away from everything else, is like 593. 593.
Wow.
Like a 215. No, 230 something miles an hour.
Jeez.
On a little four-banger.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a K?
It's a K series.
Yeah.
K series. So it's funny how 2 years ago the K series were like nothing. You know, they
were still something.
No, but nobody wanted to build a K series because they weren't holding power.
Yeah.
So in the last year and a half, somebody figured it out. Now everybody figured it out. Now everybody's transitioning again to go K.
Yeah.
Because they now figured out the K is the way.
That's such a good motor.
Look at how many Ks. You see MR2s with K series.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the one that I'm waiting for, the Tesla with the K series.
Oh, they took my idea. Oh,
Did you?
Yeah, I keep seeing Teslas. I was like, man, I gotta get a Tesla and put a K series.
No,
in it.
there's a guy in,
I'm so grateful
in
that somebody
Colorado.
did
That's
it.
what they do, and it was a white Tesla with a K series.
I'm so grateful that
That's
happened.
That's what they build.
Because I was telling somebody, I said, I just want to get a Tesla and put a K in it, and they're like, why?
Bro, my buddy
said,
Rich.
Because it would be awesome.
My buddy Rich from up north, TEM Performance.
Yeah.
He was building a Lambo with a K series.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Lambo with a K series.
Yeah.
Lamborghini.
I got some K stuff. I got some K stuff coming up.
The
But it's
same
my
guy.
first. I'm doing a K. There's a project I'm doing that's K, and I won't tell anyone what it is yet. But I was always B forever, and I love the K. It's such a different vibe, you know. And I know the power that you can get out of it is so much more, and like even just factory, you can get 500 horsepower out of a factory motor, boosted, and like run it no problems.
Same guy is doing a GTR with a K
With a
series.
K.
K series. Yeah, and there's so many MR2s out there with a K series.
Yeah.
It's a lot of everything with K series.
My girlfriend wants a K series in her Volvo. She's got a Volvo wagon.
Oh, that's a what year is
91.
it? Oh hell yeah, the square one.
Panda, yeah, it's a brick.
Yeah, that was a L series, right? That's the L series.
Oh, yeah, it's a
the
2.4.
Yeah, I think it's called L. It's L something.
L24.
Yeah,
No,
L something. It's an L series. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of runs. So I don't know if anything happens.
Yeah,
K
but
series.
now it looks like K series. Anything K series, man. It's like building so many K series because people figure it out. And then here's the other good thing: the K series. I have pistons on the shelf to hold 1,500 horsepower on the shelf.
Man.
I mean, they heavy duty forging.
Yeah.
But they on the shelf. I have K20.
Don't tempt me.
86.
Don't tempt
86 and a half. I have 87 and a half.
You worked with man, did you work with I'm trying to remember if you worked with Chris Generate or not on his drag S2000. Did you guys work with him?
Who's that?
Chris, just drifter guy. He had the only Honda that ran for.
No, I don't know. Maybe one of my coworkers, but I don't think I did
I
myself.
feel like he had Arias pistons. Anyways, yeah, he was making 1,000 on that thing like a long time ago.
Yeah, no. Well, like right now, it's more East Coast people than locally. You know, there's nothing over here locally.
California emissions.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, no one is
killing the street scene.
Yeah, no one is doing anything here, as far as I know.
But it's funny because this is where it started.
Yeah,
right. It's always this way. It's like this is where it started, and it ends up on the East Coast.
It's not that.
And then the East Coast guys put a twist on it that you just can't touch.
Oh no,
you just can't. They put the money into it. They put the time into it, and I don't know what it is. Maybe we have the weather. We have good weather all year round, and they have like crap weather for like half the year. So they just start spending their money and building their projects, and then when the season starts, man, they're ready.
And probably sharing information to each other to see, hey, I want to do this. No, don't do it because I already did it and it's wrong. Probably sharing information.
Right.
Do it this way because this is the way that.
Yeah, because everyone in Cali is so competitive.
Yeah.
We're so like. Do you remember that? Do you remember just no one popped their hoods and no one wanted to tell anyone anything that was going on? And I feel like that was the original way to do things. Like no one knew who was running what because it was like so secretive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and then I got a lot of S2000s, F22 stuff that they really fast too.
Yeah.
I think there was this couple of days ago, I think they were claiming that it was the first S2000 on a 7s real wheel drive, but I think that there was
was that yellow one? Was it yellow?
No, I think it's a red one from somewhere on the East Coast that run a 7.
Wow.
But there was somebody else already have run 7s
with an F, with an F motor,
with the F22 S2000.
They're just K swapping them though. They're yanking that out.
No, that's a K series.
Oh, that's a K in that.
That's a K. No, that's a S2000. Sorry, that's an S2000 complete S2000 build.
F, so F22.
F22C.
Yeah.
So as far as I know, sport front wheel drive, The fastest is the SR20 with a 765.
Wow.
Second fastest is Chapulin with a 769. And his son is 771.
Wow.
Everybody else is behind with a 76, 77.
Right.
But there's a bunch of people there already.
In that tight cluster.
And the little gap from 69 to 80 is so many of them.
Right. Is that another one of our people out there?
Well, I don't know what that
What's
was.
Sound like a roll off going by.
Yeah. And then that's a B series, and SR20 for the sport front wheel drive.
Oh, he's in a B series?
Yeah.
He's
well,
running that.
The 769 is a B series.
Right.
The 765, the fastest sport front wheel drive is an SR20.
The SR20, right.
It's on the
Front wheel drive
SR20.
SR20.
And then on the fastest ever 5 seconds, it's a K series.
You said that's all wheel drive?
That's all wheel drive.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
And then they got the guy from Canada that he was the fastest one. Then with the Ecotech. And then there's a lot of other classes out there. So now they're allowing the billet sport front wheel drive.
Oh, now
they're allowing that.
Yeah.
So coming up, that's what
so
I'm telling you.
So we'll start seeing a ton of billet stuff coming up.
Now there's Evo's billet, there's SR20 billet, B series billet, K series billet, 2JC billet.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like we're just gonna see faster times.
Yeah. So that's what I was telling you earlier. I think they need to figure out how. That's just like the NHRA is slowing down because it's too much.
They're going to find a way around it. It's just going to take them longer.
Yeah, but you don't want to, I mean, like myself, I don't want to see an accident.
I don't either.
You already know.
I already know.
You already know that that's possible, that it can happen, because the tires that they're using, it's too small. It's not. I heard somebody say that that tire that they're using, that M&H or whatever brand, I think most of them run M&H.
Yeah.
25 something, right?
Right.
It hasn't been revised for 10 years. We revise the forgings every time we feel like that they going faster and making more power. We revise the forging. We check the pins.
Yeah.
I
feel like tire technology, it could improve. I don't know how much they're working on it, but
I don't think they gotta either go bigger or I don't know. They need to come up with something, because it look like top end, they just not holding. They probably stretch too much.
Yeah.
And they cutting somewhere along on the fender. I don't know, somewhere, and that's why the accidents.
Oh yeah, the blowouts. Yeah.
Yeah, because you always get a blow tires at the end of the accident. Always.
Yeah.
You don't get a complete tires because they blow out, but
yeah,
somewhere along the line,
that's
top
the
end,
worst place to blow out. Is top end.
Yeah, because just the fastest that you go. And I think Jason was going like at least 160 when he crashed. Yeah,
he was half track, right?
Yeah, he was top. He was already
all
at
the way
end when the guy, the other car just went right in front of him.
Yeah,
yeah, he got lucky.
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how, and they making more power.
Yeah.
Making more power. Like right now,
I don't think at this point, I don't think it matters how much more power they make. I just don't think sport front wheel drive to get into the sixes, I think it's going to take a while. Like, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to, we're mid pack 6, right? So what's that? 660, right?
665. No,
765.
765.
So to get into the sixes, I think that barrier is going to take a lot to break.
No. But check it out. Like at the beginning, on the 7 seconds, it was only like the fastest 7 seconds originally used to be Rami with a B series, and it took like 3 years for somebody to touch that number.
Right.
And then Chapulin went like a 7.9.
Yeah.
So he was the second fastest.
Right.
And then just on this last year, everybody got faster out of nowhere. Now Chapulin went and run like a 69. He was the fastest for like, I think he hold the record like 7:69 at least for a couple years.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this is at 20 comes and take away his.
Right. I mean, I think it's like they have to be running at the limit of adhesion for grip all the way down the track for it to run that. And I just don't think it's the traction that's limiting it, right? Because they're at the limit of that traction all the way down. Have to be. I mean, if you're putting down 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 horsepower, you can't just like the big cars. Like it's just traction at that point, And for a front wheel drive car, you're losing that. The physics just aren't there. That's what they've been saying since the beginning. Oh, those cars will never run. They would say that those cars will never run fast because they're front wheel drive and the physics just isn't there. But look at them now. So
yeah, it's.
But I think it's at such a threshold that it's gonna take a while to trim those extra few ounces off. You know what I mean? That extra few tenths of a second off.
Yeah, because right now, sport front wheel drive is supposed to be 2,400 pounds.
Right. Yeah.
And all motor 1,900.
Right. But I just mean the fractions of the second. You know what I mean? It's going to take.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's expensive and it's hard. And I think it's going to. I mean, maybe I'll eat my words, man. Maybe we'll see somebody in the 6s in sport front wheel drive. Maybe.
Yeah, but like you say, it's I mean, it's 6s. It's not 30s. If we were already on the 30s, I would say it's gonna happen on the next two events. But no. But I'm sure they're gonna go 50s coming up. The next event, I'm sure they're gonna go 50s.
Yeah,
they're gonna go 50s, and they're gonna keep on dropping the numbers. But then they need better tires too. That's one of the things that they need, better tires.
Yeah.
That's gotta be scary. That's gotta be scary, knowing that the tires that you're using hasn't been revised on 10 years, and you're still running that same tire when you were making 1,000 horsepower. Now you're making.
Well, M&H knows what they're doing. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah, they've been around, but I think I heard that they haven't done too much to revise it, because I don't think there's no room.
Where are you gonna go?
Yeah, there's no room to do to do anything bigger.
Change the compounds? Like, what are you gonna do? You're on a slick already.
That's like when somebody asks you, can I get 18-1 on a piston? No, there's no room. Where do you want to get all that volume? There's no room. There's no space.
Go more stroke, right? If you want 18-1.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, and then you need. I mean, you gotta make a bunch of changes. So now, if you try to go longer rod or a bigger stroke, now you're running out of piston. What do you now? Okay, how are we going? We still have to fit it in the same space. There's no such a thing that is bigger. I mean, you gotta fit it in there. You just gotta change with the dimensional of the rod or the stroke. So what are you doing with that? You making your piston smaller. People think it's easy, but once you start putting numbers on the computer, I mean, that's all it is.
None of this is easy.
That's all it is. I mean, I make numbers for people all the time, rotating and roll ratios and.
You got to get some ridiculous requests, though.
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff.
What's the ridiculous? You got. Well, I mean, what? That's got to be one of them. I want 18-1 compression, right?
Yeah, some people say I want 15.5-1, and I want to run nitromethanol, and I go, well, I that is possible,
right?
But you have to shallow the pockets,
right?
Like let's say K series, you run like a intake pocket. It's about 260.
Okay.
And the exhaust side is about 230. But if you want, and that's already I think that's already like a 7.5 cc dome.
Right.
And
why do you shallow the pockets?
To give more volume to the top of the piston.
Yeah.
So you shallow and you give more.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah. So that's what you do. If you want more compression, now you gotta give a lift.
Yeah.
right? Because now your packet you want more compression.
Oh,
You gotta
right,
give.
right.
You
gotta
give.
sacrifice your
You gotta
lift, your cam
sacrifice
lift.
something so you can get both.
Right.
You gotta sacrifice something to get something.
Yeah.
People don't understand that sometimes, and I go, "How?" I go, "Yeah, well, okay, you want deep pockets because you running a big cam.
Big overlap.
Okay,
and
so
everything,
you gotta have big pocket.
yeah.
If you want more volume,
Right.
you want big pockets, and a lot of volume is not gonna happen.
You
'cause
can't get the
cutting,
compression because you have that
You're
overlap.
cutting, you're cutting material off for the part. And the other thing that happens all the time, I need you to make a strong piston but lightweight. That don't go together. Those two things don't go together. How can I make you a strong piston and lightweight?
Right.
Strong means
thick.
it's gotta be thick.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're dealing with aluminum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Can you pretty much have the metallurgy figured out for what it needs to be?
Especially here. I mean, from the get-go, once see over here, everything is scanned, the forging.
Right.
I mean, once you put something in there, you drop a piston, it tells you already where you at.
Yeah.
Minimum and maximum.
Right.
It's just that's all you can do. You can do anymore. Yeah.
I want it strong, but I want it light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
The other thing that I try to educate people to do is like they want to run like a high compression piston, like lightweight with big boost and heavy pin. If you have a lightweight piston, it's not strong enough to put a heavy pin in it. It's you're gonna pull it.
Yeah.
You're gonna stretch it. I mean, it's gonna break.
Right.
There's people too out there that they probably drag races. They've never seen a top fuel before.
Right.
Top fuel is like 3 pounds.
Right.
A top fuel piston is about 3 pounds.
Because they'll come apart.
Yeah, because they got a whole 12,000 horsepower. It's the same idea, though.
12,000 horsepower.
Same idea. If you want a B series piston at 84.5 bore with the 180 pin height, and you want it to hold 1,500 horsepower, so that little piston has to be strong. It needs to be thick.
Thick, right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that's evolved. Because I think in early days it wasn't like that.
No, because there was no good forgings back then.
There
was no need for that because wasn't that much power.
Well, yeah, the turbo technology.
Yeah, now turbo technology is crazy.
Right, and management technology.
Computers and tuners and a lot of, and on top of that, you get all of these sharp people out there, sharp tuners that like look at the what's his name, the tuner that been around longer than me and you, Shane.
Oh, Shane
T, bro, that guy, he's a beast.
Right.
Shane T is original. Remember, Shane T used to tune the Titan car back on the original days.
And there's
very white.
And then there's John Reed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still doing stuff.
Yeah. So those guys are those are another originals, guy, man.
Man, you ever seen the guys too? And they got the ear things in, listening for knock. They're just tuning, listening for knock, just listening to the engine and.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's another guy that been through the whole deal, man. Shane T.
Yeah, it'd be cool to sit down and talk to him.
Shane T. That's another guy that's been around.
So you've must have worked on some pretty cool people's projects, like some weird stuff. Like, what's the weirdest project or build you've ever done pistons for?
Oh man, there's so many of them. Like,
what stands out?
I think that the craziest stuff that even now no one's believed me. I got a guy in Puerto Rico. He has an 86, is a 3TC bottom-end.
Mm-hmm.
He has a 4Y out of the Toyota Van crank. And then his piston is so short. He has 2 grooves, but the groove in the one groove is 3 rings. It's oil ring, it's oil rail, oil ring, and second ring on the same groove. That's the fastest 3TC that there is on the planet.
Because the piston's so short.
So short, and he won rings in there. So he's stocking basically, oil ring is 3 rings, right, total. and the spacer, and the second ring. So he's running 5 pieces on the one groove.
Oh, he just has a spacer.
He has everything in there. No, cause you put the
in one
when
groove.
when you making a short compression high piston, you already on the pinhole.
Yeah.
So you put a rail support to hold the oil ring.
But you have a button in there. Is that a button piston?
No,
too?
there's no room to put the button in there because the piston is so short.
Oh wow.
So the guy has the oil rail, the oil ring, and the second ring in one groove.
Huh.
And that guy is the fastest guy on the planet with a 3TC.
Wow.
He run like a 745. 745 on a 3TC.
Oh man.
745 on a 3TC.
That's crazy. What else? What else have you?
And the
what else have you done crazy stuff? Like made crazy stuff for?
the same thing. 3TC with different rod lengths.
It's all these 3TC guys,
There's a lot
These
of 3TC guys. Toyota guys do crazy stuff, man.
All from Puerto Rico, probably, huh?
A lot of them Puerto Ricans. And the other old school setup that I always done, it's I mean, not always, because the K series. Well, the K series go back to 2003, right? Yeah, 2003 is the first K series.
EP3s, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the other thing. When the K series came up, it was a K24 block,
Mm-hmm.
and that's 2000 crank and rod and K series head. That's the other beast setup.
Oh wow.
Now, I mean, I'm saying it here because everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I won't say it.
Right.
But this been happening for the last 12 years.
Right.
That's the way to go.
That's the old
You
school.
just gotta get the red. You just gotta get the. But then again, to get the piston to work with that, you gotta call me.
Right. But it was like that too for the what was it, the LSV Tech stuff?
Oh, back in the day, there used to be a B16 with an 89 crank. Yeah.
B16
That
with
used to
89
be the
crank.
stroker.
Yeah,
That used to be the
and
stroker.
it was like a older Prelude crank.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was the deal
That
back
2-liter
then.
crank
Yeah,
and the
that
B16.
was the deal back then.
Yeah.
I remember. I tell people that all the time.
I think I still have one of those cranks.
There's people sometimes who ask about that. I need to do that. This crazy setup. This crazy setup goes back 20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
LSV Tech, and you had the special pistons, and then the B20s came out.
B16 block with the 89 crank, with the LS crank, and then a B16 rod, and send it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a stroker. That's
Stroker,
basically a stroker.
right.
Yeah, stroker from
Man, I
the
remember
little crank on the.
all the button head pistons and just moving
Yeah.
the pin height up and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
No, but like what I'm saying is that fits in there just without doing anything.
Without doing anything,
Yeah, without
right.
doing it. Just sits on top if
Yeah.
you do it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Man. Do you remember?
Yeah,
Do you remember all the deck plate blocks?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's combinations. There's so many combinations out there, man. When you and then don't get me wrong. There's some combinations sometimes that I see that I put together that I go like, it doesn't look like it's gonna work, but somehow either they're not saying what they saying that they have. Because sometimes I go, this look like this not gonna work, but
Right.
at the end of the day, it works.
Huh.
Because I make a lot of combination for different engine builders out there or tuners that
Right.
want to
You
set
think
up
they're
with
you
this.
think they're like not telling you everything?
Sometime, but the numbers come together perfect. They just probably lying on something. Because
Yeah.
you know how it is. It's a tricky out there.
It's tricky out there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Some people won't tell you. And
Yeah.
I make rotating numbers for people to check roll ratios and stuff. And
Right.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's challenging. And,
Yeah.
it's
Well, you're the man to come to. You know.
yeah, and
You've always been the man to come to. You know. So.
yeah, I do a lot of setups for people that you will go really,
Yeah.
I do set up for a lot of those people.
Yeah.
The people here's the other thing. There's people that claim that they do the stuff, and sometimes they get help from everywhere, but they claim they doing everything themselves.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that.
that's been common though.
There's a lot of that. That's okay.
That's okay.
But I know the people who get the numbers from you and their heart, they
Yeah.
know where they got the numbers from.
I
That's
think-
what
I think-
make me. That's what give me more pride.
Back in the day, it was a small industry,
Yeah.
and today it's even smaller because everyone knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't make anything up now. You know, and there are people who got away with it for a little bit, but it's still, we know everybody. We know who you're getting that from. You know what I mean? Like, we know everybody. And, you know, it's a smaller world now. There's internet, there's social media, there's like,
oh my God.
everyone has their phone out when anything happens or whatever.
Yeah.
So, which is,
It's crazy. It's crazy what, but I mean, we, like I say, I been through a lot of people's setups, and on top of that, I do a lot of restoration stuff. You know,
yeah,
like,
probably a
lot
lot
of restoration,
Yeah,
a lot
old
of
stuff probably
yeah,
too. Yeah,
Silver Ghost, 1909, Rolls Royce,
Yeah.
1910. I do a lot of that stuff.
that's gotta be fun too.
Yeah, all of that transition, all of that area stuff, you know, all of the old school area stuff. We're still doing it over here, and
Right.
again, we're now set up to do all of that stuff. you
Yeah,
know, so,
yeah.
So it's cool, man. And I mean, it's really,
And that's cool. They could still come to you to do that because
Yeah.
that's part of the area's like lineage. Is that it's just
yeah.
is doing those custom old school stuff, old school things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
it's
the blocks too? Because you guys made blocks.
Well, Arias used to have we used to have a 4-cylinder too, like midget motors, 4-cylinder
Really?
out of aluminum blocks.
yeah.
But I don't know who bought that stuff. I know some of the 8.3 liters. I think there is a guy in New Jersey that bought it.
Okay.
There's a guy in Texas that got some 10.3 liter areas. They sold a lot of the stuff to different people, which when I left over there, they were still trying to sell a lot of stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they were selling a lot of stuff to different people. Yeah.
Did they sell the castings or did they?
They
keep?
sold everything, all
Wow,
the blueprints and everything.
Jeez.
Yeah, the family sold all the rights to other people with all the blueprints and everything.
Do you hear if anyone's like kicking those things off or still trying to make them?
They're still making them.
Oh,
they're still
cool.
making them. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
still making a lot of area stuff for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of area stuff out there, and but I don't know how much volume they make in the blocks, you know. But I don't think
Yeah.
not like the piston though.
No.
No.
That was bread and butter.
Yeah, the piston we got the handle, but the blocks and cylinder heads and the stuff, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I know the old man out there is proud of what we got going on down here. I mean,
Yeah.
under
Yeah,
his
totally.
last name, you know. Under his
Yeah,
last
he's
name.
got to be.
Yeah,
You guys doing it right.
That's what I was like last for his birthday. You know, I went to the cemetery over there and
Yep.
brought some flowers for the man, and like I said, that was the least that I could do for him. You know, go visit him once in a while and bring him some flowers to both of them.
Yeah.
Because Mama Arias, if I'm not mistaken, she was original from Guadalajara, Mexico.
Wow.
She used to speak Spanish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes she used to call me at the office and say, "Hey, Elmer, I'm forgetting Spanish. Can you talk to me in Spanish?" And she used to call me just to talk to me in Spanish.
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
Mama Arias, Carmen Arias.
Yeah. I think it's the second year. Second year? Has it been 2 years already? Second year anniversary of Gabe passing.
It's gonna
I
be
think
right.
First, I think that was the first.
It was the first already. Didn't come on my phone. Really.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
stop by.
He
next
used to
time I
come
go
to
down.
the shop too, man. Like I say, a lot of the good ones to all my years at Arias. A lot of the good ones still around,
Yeah.
and some of them that I thought that were good ones, they kind of step out, which is good. You know, hey,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah, it's hard
It's so
to it's
good.
hard to stay in this
Yeah, it has
industry.
yeah, which is good. I mean, like I said, I have no, and I mean, whenever you want to come back, you can come back.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have done that. A lot of them left me at the beginning, and now some of them are coming back. Hey,
I'm hearing a lot of people starting to like Lisa putting her car together.
mhm.
She's coming back. You know, I know Vit. You remember Vit Lam? Vit got out of prison. I guess he was talking to Charles about putting a car together.
Oh, really?
It's like all these, you know, Miles putting stuff
Mhm.
together for his daughter.
Scalise got his car back.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
He got his car back, and I don't know who else.
It's different.
I know Bergenholtz. They put in another one together.
Yeah, Ron's putting a CRX. He's
Yeah,
got like a right-hand drive CRX. He's been he's
they
K swapping it, and he's like, this K. He's like, oh, it's funny to see him like, just. He's like, man, I'm so used to B series. He's got all this K parts everywhere, and it got out of hand. He's like, it's got out of hand.
So that's what somebody has a T-shirt and they say K is the way.
K is the way. K swap the world.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
K swap. There's so many K swaps out there.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of 2JZ swaps out there too.
Love that too. I got KG.
I got a few customers with the
2JZ.
2JZ Novas out there.
Yeah,
Chevy
I love
Novas,
that.
the old school Novas.
I love that. Yeah.
There's dragsters with 2JZs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
I got some 2JZ stuff I'll be popping pretty soon.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You should build yourself a 2JZ, or you said you're gonna go K series.
I also have a 2JZ in
really?
a car, in a build. 240.
Only one?
2JZ. Yeah, just
Only one block?
Just I got a spare.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Save it.
Yeah, it's doing better than Bitcoin right now.
Oh man, 2JC blocks soon they're gonna be $6,000-$7,000, no questions.
Yeah, just the block.
Just the block alone, just the original block is gonna be expensive.
I got rid of one. I had one that had a burnt piston. I sold that thing for a lot, and I was surprised. I was like, holy crap! And then I have a couple completes. So I have I think I got 2 VVTIs, and then I have one non-VVTI, and then I have one block.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I have way too much stuff. I have ones in, I don't know. So I might part with a couple of those, but I'll probably keep the completes.
Yeah, so yeah, man, I think we got a lot of in between both of the companies, CP and Arias, we got a lot of stuff handled.
Yeah, good.
A lot of stuff handled, man. We keep a lot of stuff on the shelf.
Yeah.
I mean, we sell overseas. We sell a lot of RB.
I got one of those
a
too.
Lot of RB stuff.
I got an RB too.
25, 26.
I got an RB in my 510.
The one that it never took off was the VR38 or the
oh yeah
VQ37s or VQ35.
Yeah.
It was never
big.
Or the Honda J series either. I mean, it's not a mover.
Yeah.
Everyone, it looked like sticking around with the B series, K series, SR20s, Mitsubishis, and that's what everyone is sticking to.
Yeah.
Everything else is just not a way to go.
It's funny to be so fortunate to fall in love with the Hondas and the Nissans, right? And to where it's I fell in love with all the right motors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how fortunate is that? I know them so well, but I just feel so fortunate to I've fallen in love with I know the SR20s, I know the 2JZs, I know the the RBs, I know the
KAs,
B series, I know those KAs. Oh, you know it, man.
KAs.
Those are probably pretty popular, right? A lot of people building KAs.
Some, but not that.
It's not like a B, not like a K.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
So
I think SR20 now they gonna start. You watch, a lot of people's gonna start coming also with SR20s.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if Masworth could do it, everybody else could do it.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe with the front wheel drive ones, because I think the rear wheel drive ones are so expensive now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people didn't really pull much power out of those things, but maybe with billet blocks and things like that coming out. Are they running a billet block, or it's just a filled block?
I was there that one day, but I don't remember if I saw a billet block.
Yeah.
I know B series there is billet blocks out there.
Yeah.
A lot of them already using them at Walk Up Finals, but
right.
I didn't see. I know there's Mitsubishi's too, 4G63s running
billet stuff.
Billet stuff, but I don't remember seeing the SR20.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's looking forward to where this is all going. But is there anything else you want to say? You want to say some thanks? Do you want to give some props out, or anything you want to add to this? It's been a lot of good stories.
No, it's a lot of good stuff. No, I just wanna make sure. I know there's a lot of people. I don't know who's gonna see this or how many people that I really want to send the message to gonna see this. But what I'm saying is I get a lot of people that again, the saying that Arias was going to be shut down, you know, and being in here is totally the other way around, you know. Arias is coming at you, and you're going to see Arias,
right,
and your next door neighbor, because you're wishing for the name to go away. And and what's going to happen is your next door neighbors is going to have a built motor next door to you, and then you're going to be.
He's going to beat you every time.
Be loving it
every time.
Yeah, exactly. So
Arias. I mean, Arias isn't going away.
Yeah. Why are you going to shut out a company, close down a company that been around for 50 plus years, you know, with a name out there? Arias has a big name out there.
I think if anyone thinks that it's going anywhere, come on down here to CP, Carrillo, Arias, and go pop in and talk to Elmer, and you know, he'll tell you all about it.
I tell people that all the time. Hey.
He'll give you a little walkthrough, and I will tell you something, right? This place will blow your mind. First time I came here, I was like, oh yeah, CP Carrillo's Pistons. Oh man, blew my mind. So you know, it's just. Yeah, if you guys think it's going anywhere, you guys are out of your mind.
I mean, it's not because I work here now and I'm part of this team, but I mean, this is a state of the art shop for sure.
Yeah,
and we have, I mean, a lot of good machines, a lot of good tooling. I mean, we got a good equipment.
Yeah,
we got a good equipment, and I don't think the brand is going anywhere. The name Arias isn't going anywhere. The combination it's just getting stronger. It's just getting stronger. It's not happening.
Right.
Not happening. And we're pushing so hard. And the top people out there, what they running decals, they running Arias or running CP, and most of them come from me. You know, that's the other thing that make me proud.
Well, you know, the time slip doesn't lie.
Exactly.
So I think that's all you got to say is the time slip doesn't lie. And the trophies don't lie.
Yeah. And
the records don't lie.
Yep.
You know, so I think besides that, I don't really think you have. I think you've said it all.
Yeah.
You know, I think everyone out there running your pistons, running your parts is speaking for you, and I think everyone out there who doesn't know you, hopefully after they listen to this, they'll understand who you are and where your heart's at, and that, like, you know, you're a genuinely good human with a kind heart, who just cares for people and loves these crazy car people, and you know, this isn't just a job you do. This is what you love. This is what you're here for, and this is like your calling in life.
Yeah, bro. And then again, you know, the people get the. I mean, a lot of people has my number. You don't even have an idea, bro. Just, I guess that's how I'm gonna say how cool I am with people. They call me anytime.
Yeah.
I always pick up. If I'm available,
I
always pick up. It could be Sunday, it could be holiday, it could be whatever. And hey, Elmer, I got a question. Do you have time? I go, yeah. Or they send me a message. Do you have time? I got a question. Whatever day it is, call me. I'm on vacations. I'll take care of it because I know it in my head. That's the other good thing about it.
So the funny thing is, Junior, right, has the same name. I think I text him the last time I texted you. I was like, oh, I'm gonna send you these pictures of these pistons and whatever, and then I text him first. So I didn't actually send that to you when I wanted to. And so those were Roy's pistons.
Yes.
And so.
Oh yeah. Those pistons I made for Roy.
So I talked to you that day, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And then, was it David? Right, David had
Auto Pros.
Yeah, he had the dyno shootout. Right.
Uh-huh.
So I talked to you that those were Roy's pistons from way back. I mean, these were from like 2007, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so I was like tripping out. I was like, whoa, this is weird, right? Because this was like I just talking to you about sitting down and coming on the show, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, whoa, this is so weird. And Roy was the thing that got me like in high gear about getting this together and making this all happen like as quick as I possibly could. And then I got a message on OfferUp. I was selling a transmission. I had an old S2000 transmission I was getting rid of. And I was driving to San Diego. So I was driving to San Diego that day. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, all right, cool. So I'd stopped for lunch, and I saw the message, and I was like, oh, the guy wants to pick it up today. I was like, cool. I turned around. I drove all the way back, grabbed the transmission, and I met him. And guess who comes walking up to buy the transmission? David.
David.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Right? How crazy is that?
Wow.
Same day. We were just talking about it, and it was like, I called you back. I called you back to try and tell you that, but I don't know if I messaged you or not.
That
But
is
like,
crazy.
and then I was talking to him. I was like, hey, I was just talking to Elmer about this. Like, I had his pistons and like blah blah blah, and like, it was cool. So he's gonna come on the show. We're gonna talk some old school stuff. But like,
Okay.
yeah, it was wild. How
Yeah.
crazy is such a weird,
Yeah.
weird thing. But
Crazy.
rest in peace, Roy. Booyah, Roy.
Yeah,
man.
bro. Love you, Roy. I mean,
Love you,
cool
Roy.
guy, brother. Cool,
Another
really
one,
cool
another one
dude.
gone too soon, man. So
Yeah. 45.
45. Wow,
45.
that's too
Cool
young.
guy, man. We did a lot of things with Roy, man, back in the days. A lot of good setups.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was, and he did a lot of personal for me too. Me and
Right.
him used to be really cool, you know.
right.
He used to come to my house.
Yeah.
all that kind of
Yeah, man.
customers and friends after all, you know.
Well, yeah, well,
it's really cool.
It's
We
a
become
family. It's a
Yeah,
family,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. Some people go, hey, can I come and pick? Can I buy some parts?
Yeah.
And can I pick them up for your house? Yeah.
Yeah, your family, like
Some
your
people
kids
won't
are
even
family,
give-
like
some
all that.
people out there won't even tell you where they live.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people won't bring you to the house. You can come to my house. I'm not worried. I
Right.
mean, I'm straight. You know.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
not, the last thing that I want to think. Oh, why did I give Greg my address
No,
to come to my house?
no,
You're my
right.
brother.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I if we make that friendship, I mean, we good.
Right.
We good. You trust me, I trust you, and then
Right.
we gotta keep that together.
And that's
you know?
how it should be. And that's the original group that I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm just talking to the family first.
Like how
Mhm.
many times, and I'm sure that happened to you before. Some people tell you, "Hey, can we meet up?" People wouldn't. Can we meet up at McDonald's? Can we meet up at Walmart? Can we meet up at Starbucks? Some people wouldn't even want you around their house.
Yeah. I feel like I've been very blessed with that. I feel like
Mhm.
anyone that I've known or known me, they have been like, yeah, come to
Like
my house.
kind of real.
And there's even
real.
people who I'm talking to on like, I don't even know them, but they kind of know me, and they're
Mhm.
just like, no, you're good. Come to the house.
Mhm.
You know, and every time somebody does that, I know what it is to be guarded, right? Because I used to have people come to my house to buy stuff, and then my car got stolen. And I know who it was. I know the guys who came to my house, and I was just like, okay, right? So it's stuff like that. People ruin it, you know? And I think that's something that, you know, I mean, if people are out there and you're going through hard luck, you know, whatever, but those things happen. But if you're taken from people in the industry or in the scene that you eat from or you adhere to, or you know what I mean? Like if you're out stealing parts from people who like work hard to put parts on their car just to put parts on your car, there's a special place and a whole lot of karma coming to you, you know? And that's something that I never, you know, because back in the day, people did a lot of shady stuff, but like, I always really looked down on that.
That's something that, I mean, I mean, to be honest, that's sometimes something that bothers me sometimes, because I give you everything, and sometimes people turn and
take advantage of it.
Take advantage,
Yeah.
or just just turn the back on you, you know. And,
Right.
And
Yeah.
like I tell people sometimes, you're being with me for, I don't know, 20 years. If for $100, $200, because somebody sold you the part for $200, you go away.
Yeah.
And especially
Yeah.
the people that you consider that you're friends, and
Yeah.
I think that's not cool, but that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. And I
That's the
think
way
they
it is,
tell you
though.
who they are
Yeah,
by doing
at
that.
the end of the day, yeah.
I think in the end of the day, when people ask me for like help, and they've always been there for me, I think I am more happy to help them, because it's like, there's some people who've always been there for you, and they got their stuff sorted. So the rare chance that they ask you for help, it's like, I'm there, you know? So it's like I always help everyone move. That's like the worst day of their life is when they got to move. And I'm like, yeah, man, I got a school bus. Let's figure this out, you know? And so, but I think that I wish more people were like that, but it's okay. My friend Justin, he owns some parkour gyms. He told me something once, and it's a very simple thing that he lives by. And he has an incredible life, right? I'm super proud of him. But he says it's simple, Leone. I surround myself with awesome people, and I treat them awesome. And he says, if they're awesome back, cool. If not, that's cool too. But, and I thought about that, and it made a lot of sense to me. And so it's like, if you surround yourself with people who are awesome and treat them awesome, that's just your character and that's your heart, right? It's not like I'm surrounding myself with awesome people and then some shady people. No. I surround myself with awesome people and I treat them awesome. And I listened to that and I thought about that and I adhere to that now. And so my life's gotten so much better since that, because if anyone's questionable, they're not awesome, I'm like, it's okay. You know, I got a little girl. Her name's Mia. She's 9. You know, you've seen her grow up.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
When you have little ones and you know, you look at the world different. And so anyone who I don't feel has my back, you know what I mean? Like in some sense of the way, or is at least an awesome person. Like I'm not into having them around, you know? So,
hey, and last time she came here, I give her a trophy, right? She has a trophy.
She still has it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has it in her room. It's
That'll
awesome.
never go bad, man. That's a cool little trophy.
She loves that thing.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool. I haven't seen her in a while, though. I haven't seen pictures of Mia in a while.
She's been skateboarding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been skateboarding too.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I can 360 flip. I'm an old dude on a skateboard, like doing crazy things that I probably shouldn't be doing.
Bro,
I'm doing
I love to watch that. That's what I love to go to Venice to watch those guys with the skateboards over there.
I mean, I got some boards right here if you want to hit a skate park.
No,
Down the street, Volcom, it's open till 10 o'clock. I think we can go hit the skate park, brother.
I saw them already. Yeah, it's so crazy, man. I go, how in the hell you guys do that? You know, like
I just, being a parent, you know, I'm going to be on a board as long as, like, I can for her.
That's cool,
you know, I'm sure you do all this stuff with your kids, too, and that's
cool.
awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Well, it's been great talking to you.
Yeah, man. It's really cool. I mean, you said that it was going to be like a conversation, and it turns to be like a normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we covered a lot of things.
We cover a lot of things.
And then, then again, bro, just anybody that watches this video and just anything, even if you don't buy nothing from me, just go ahead and call me. I'll help you to make some numbers, road ratios, whatever you want. I mean, I help you out. No problem. I mean,
you do everything. You're not just drag cars. You're like drag cars. You're like road course cars, street cars.
Yeah, we
just Bonneville cars.
Yeah,
boats, planes, everything probably, right?
Anything. Yeah.
Motorcycles.
You just gotta tell me what you're gonna be doing with the setup, whatever setup, and we'll figure it out the best road ratio for what you're gonna be doing, and that's all it is to it. Easy stuff, you know. To make numbers is kind of easy because the program is there, and that's what it is. You know, numbers are numbers. The numbers are there. You just gotta know where to plug them in.
Right, and that's what you do.
I guess that's what we know how to do. So man. I mean, anytime, and and thank you. I mean, for coming by and.
No problem.
I mean, and we haven't seen each other and having.
It's been a few years.
Chill and not chill for like for a good couple hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. You know.
Yeah,
really
I love this.
Good.
I love doing this.
That's
you
cool,
know, I get to sit down and talk to my friends and my family. You know what I mean, and just carry on this legacy, you know.
And it's cool, man. Whoever do this next, I mean, it's a don't be shy. I mean, but it's really, really, really cool deal because I mean, especially you're sitting with your friend doing this, so it's not you're not sitting with a stranger. You're sitting with a guy that you've been around, and like I said, Greg is a cool dude, and I know him for a while, and
Do you forget?
It's easy.
Do you forget you're sitting in a school bus sometimes?
yeah, because we're just chilling.
Feels like we're in a living room.
I'm feeling I'm in my house already, chilling over here, bro. 'Cause that's exactly what I get in my house: the corner, and then just put my pillows and just watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. After a while, it turned like I'm sitting in my house.
Yeah, I feel like Pepper's got the comfiest couch on the planet.
Yeah, man.
Probably next to yours, but
yeah,
you know.
it's cool, man. Yeah, it's a cool deal, brother. I mean,
Well, brother. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I thank you for
Yeah.
making this happen, and it's cool that you're gonna keep on getting more of the people that had a lot more
I'm
to
telling the story.
put in, and
We got to. Yeah.
It's cool, man. Thank you much, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
can't wait to see what we did here, brother.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So this is gonna wrap up our show. This is Burning Tires, a bus cast. I'm your host Greg Leone, and this is our special
Elmer
guest,
CERRITOS,
Elmo CERRITOS, right here.
Arias
And
piston, Civic Arillo.
yeah.
Anytime, hit me up.
hit him
I'll
up,
be-
buy some pistons. You know what I mean?
Hey, or sometime if you need help, just call me. I'll help you out.
If you're having a barbecue, hit him up. He likes barbecue too. You know, what's your beer? What
Exactly.
you drink? What do you drink?
Well, I drink very little, but I drink sometimes like just a light beer.
Yeah, that's right. I don't drink at all.
I drink light beer once in a
Once
while.
in a while, yeah.
I'm not a beer guy.
Yeah.
I'm not an alcohol guy either.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, just very light. I mean, yeah.
So if you have a barbecue, invite him over.
Yeah, that will do. You have some food.
Have some
let me know.
sparkling
Text me, call me.
better.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Or if you have a race car and you really want to go fast, you want to break some records, this is the man to
You
call.
need some good parts.
Yeah.
Hit me up, and I'll help you out for sure. That's for sure.
All right,
All
cool.
right, brother.
All
Thank
right.
you much. See you all.
See y'all.
Peace.
Keep tuning in. I'll keep bringing them to you. All right. Later, guys.
Woo.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. See you guys next time.
A good conversation.
I think we're 2.5 hours.
Really? What the hell, bro?
How'd that happen, huh?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna cut on these cameras.
Yeah, but they probably tired.
They're tired.